morning. The Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
All right, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Invasion. It is my privilege to introduce to you your hosts, Dex and Steve-O.
Time for the sharing and the caring to begin.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Wake up!
Wake up!
38 in the morning invasion is like a cup of coffee. My morning pick-me-up. Woo!
Good morning!
Easy, buddy. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday.
Oh, hi!
March 2nd. Dex and Steve-O and our good friend Seth.
Hello. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Good.
Looking all big and beefy right behind me in the studio.
It's the sweatshirt, man. It's
Yeah.
just got a lot of extra. None of it's me. None of it's me.
Did you hear us call out your lovely wife yesterday about filming you while you're in bed?
Instagrams you shirtless.
Dude,
How do you feel about that?
You know what? That is one of my pet peeves, actually.
Yeah,
because-
I knew it.
Turned red.
I knew it.
He just turned red.
I knew it. Every time I see a video of her doing that to you, I'm just going, I bet you he just hates that.
I'm so self-conscious, man, about my
And
body
you
that
know, if it was
it's
the
like,
other way around, you would be murdered.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chrissy, like if
Especially
I'm
when
doing
she's
an
pregnant.
Insta story, like
Yeah.
anything, Chrissy's like, let me see that. Let me see that. Or picture it, doesn't matter. She's like, no, I hate my chin. Here, let's do another one.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to make a quick. Okay, fine.
Oh, so Brittany's gotten into this blogging thing, right? And she's kind of toned it down, but back for a while, she would post a blog like at least once a week. And for each blog, she'd have about 20 pictures. Okay.
Yeah.
And so she'd make me take the pictures. And so these photo shoots would literally last about an hour in length. And so I take about 5, and she'd come in and check them, and she'd like, oh, I like this one, I like this one. I don't know if this one will go. Here, take some more. And so we'd be over there taking these pictures, and yeah, so.
Oh, man. Britt Romney, everybody. She's the president of the Facebook community.
Yeah.
At Star 88 FM on Facebook.
You
so.
should have heard what she said last night. She was like, you should see the following that I have on Facebook. I'm like, okay, Kevin.
Dude, I'll miss you when
what's
you're
that guy?
dead.
Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
We've created a
Gosh.
monster is what we've done.
We have. Well, I don't know. She's been that way since she was a child. So
Very true.
Amazing.
Oh man.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. We are
It
live on
is.
YouTube. You can go subscribe to Star 88 FM on YouTube, also Facebook, and go like our page and share it with everybody.
And speaking of Facebook, a girl, Patrice, who chimes in every single day on Facebook Live, said, hey, could you guys say a little prayer for me today? Went to bed at 9:30, woke up at 1:20. Toddler days might kill me and my husband.
Ooh, toddler days.
I'm sorry, dude. I don't miss toddler days.
You know what, Patrice? Actually, that happened to me as well. So Jakin went to bed at about 9 last night, and you didn't want to go to bed. In fact, I was like, do you want to go to bed? And he's like,
Of course not.
start crying. And so he was up at 1 and then again at 5.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
So Britt and I have fun nights with that. So
I'm not going to lie. I don't miss that at all.
Me neither.
Like, I do not even a little bit miss that. Toddler days, I'm like, nah, it's cool. Brody's 5. It's like, that's it. I'm enjoying this moment.
Yep.
he sleeps pretty good then, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, we've got a pretty solid regimen. Even the older ones, like our teenage boys go to bed they all go to bed. It's like
Do you think that's
8 o'clock, you're getting ready for bed, 8:30 lights out.
Are you, do you think the military school, do you think that helped out with the way that you run the house?
Not even a little bit.
Or is it just Chrissy?
Totally Chrissy.
I don't know, man. I've been over there. You're pretty way down the law, man.
Oh, that's because I understand it now. I definitely do now because I didn't have that structure. So when I went to military school, yeah, but then when I left there, I was like, I don't have any of this.
Yeah.
So I like rebelled oppositely hardcore. It was more of Christy and like her training because for those that don't know, she's like part of the New Mexico Early Childhood Education Association. She's like lobbying in Santa Fe for like early child care, like different things. And so this is her life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's going to school to like finish up for early child care, like different things like that. And so she really sees all of the different studies and why it's important for children to have X amount of sleep or to have this type of routine or whatever. And so it was hard during the toddler days because our friends were just like, come on, bro. I got kids too. Who cares? They can crash on our couch till 1 a.m. And I'm like, yeah, our kids aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
So like we had to sacrifice a bunch when they were little and not really get to chill quite a bit. But I mean, they're rock stars when it comes to bed. It's like, all right, potty, brush your teeth. Let's do this. We're going to go read. We're going to pray. We're going to whatever.
Yeah. Even Brody, I mean, I've seen him, maybe a couple times kind of not even really have a meltdown, but, but he's even like, just goes to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that doesn't happen with 5-year-olds.
Really?
Like 5-year-olds usually
our boys
melt
have
down
always
and don't want to go to bed.
Yeah. They've just always kind of like, this is what you do.
Especially you don't even have a TV in their room. That's crazy.
Of course not.
Man.
Of course not. What do you mean?
Wow, you don't let them have tablets or
outside and
iPhones.
No.
That's
They have
crazy.
these really weird things in their rooms that you can flip pages. They're called books.
What is that?
Yeah. So we let them read before bed because that also like not just like gets their brain going, but also helps them like chill. And so no tablets, no phones, none of that junk.
Yep.
So
it's good to have a routine. You actually sleep better when you have a routine before bed.
That's what I've heard. I should get one of those because my kids have it, and then I'm like, I really need to go to the finale of Waco. I gotta watch it. So like,
TV, I guess, is like the worst thing you can
really
do before bed.
Last night I crashed hard, and I think it was because I finished the TV series for Waco last night, and the finale was so devastating. I was like, I cried more on that episode than I've ever cried for This Is Us.
Really? That good?
It was very not good
sad.
at all. It was so tragic.
We all know how it ends.
But I didn't remember. I knew the general idea of how it ended, but it was so awful that I was just. It was like a Schindler's List.
I'm trying to remember.
Did they portray it good in the TV show?
It depends on who you talk to. So there were
wasn't there some theories that he got away? There was some underground tunnels or something?
There were those theories, but I went deep down that rabbit hole. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, Waco in 1993, David Koresh, there was this crazy compound, Mount Carmel out in Waco, Texas, and there was like 97 people inside of this compound, and he believed that he was the Messiah. He didn't believe he was Jesus Christ, but he believed that he was going to open the fifth seal in the book of Revelation, like how it talks about the opening of the seals. And like there was like a Harvard law guy, there was a lawyer, there was all these like really intelligent people, and it's like, how did they get duped? And then you watch and see like dude like performed miracles and like and there was some pretty crazy stuff that happened, and so I can see how people would be duped. Do you know what I mean? It was like,
were they like magic tricks or something? What he was performing? Or?
No, he fully 100% believed it. He believed it. So it wasn't like he was deceiving anybody either. He was deceived himself, believing these things, that the voice of God was telling him these certain things, and it was crazy. But you watch what happened, and it was like, it's a really gnarly story, and it was a gross overstepping of our government. Yeah, is what happened. And so there were consultants on the show, one of them being a survivor from inside the compound, the other one being the head negotiator of the. It was, dude.
So is it a documentary?
No,
it's like
a man,
action
Taylor Kitsch,
documentary.
Taylor Kitsch, who plays David Koresh, better win everything.
I love him, man. He's one of my favorite actors.
Phenomenal, guys. I'm telling you, it was only 6 episodes, and if you don't know much about it, it was just. The FBI and ATF and the survivors in the compound all still disagree on certain aspects of it. But when the files came out, man, there's a lot retracted, a lot's been changed. Wow. Like, and so you see, like, it was really their bad. Like, they fired on this compound with women and children inside, and then basically locked them in there. You know what I mean? And it was like this crazy standoff, and it was...
Yeah, I remember the shootout, man. There was just bullet holes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's really... And you're just like jaw dropped going, how did this happen? How did this happen? And according to the...
we've been that way with pretty much every tragic incident.
Right? How did we get here?
Nothing ever matches up. Like, nothing ever just makes sense. Yeah. You know, it's strange.
Dude, you look at it, and it's like the Waco siege. Our government even says it was the worst handled incident in our government's history. I mean, it was really bad. It was really bad, and it led to, yeah, spoiler alert, like just about everybody dies, including all of the women and children.
Yeah, I watched a
In
little
a
bit of the
very
documentary
horrific
recently,
way.
and they were interviewing a couple of the survivors, these
Yeah.
two women, and they went back to the compound after how many years it's been, and they just broke down crying because they couldn't believe that they got duped, that they were brainwashed. Like that's the guilt. The guilt that they had was they've been living with this for so many years now, and it felt so terrible for them because they couldn't believe that they actually believed what he said, you know?
After like 51 days, they were like, the government just got tired of waiting and waiting because David said he was writing he said they had agreed upon a surrender. He just wanted to write out his thesis, if you will, for the seals because he believed that God gave him a word and it had to be perfect because it's the word of God. It's a New Testament, if you will. Wow. And so he's sitting there like
milking
writing
the time.
and writing and writing. And that's what the government thought.
Yeah.
Oh, he's milking the time. And inside he's like, and behold, and he's like, and for days and days and days they're just typing, writing, and the government's finally just like, we're supposed to wait for the word of God. We're supposed to wait for this guy who believes he's hearing from the. No, we're going in, and they went in with tanks and tear gas.
Oh yeah,
like illegally. And
did the people inside the compound have weapons and stuff? Like, why did they feel they needed to go in with such force?
Yeah. Because they did have weapons inside that they didn't use. Like it's a really crazy, twisted story.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it.
I didn't either. And then I'm watching it, and I'm going, how much of this is accurate? And so thankfully for this series, it's called Waco. They had reflections on Waco, and afterwards they would have like this FBI agent, this survivor from within the compound, and they were all sitting together. They all brought them all together to talk about like what it was like on the inside, what it was like on the outside. And so they really handled it with care.
This is on
because
Netflix?
they wanted to.
No, I wish. I can't even watch it. I don't have the
It was
channel,
on-
so I
it
can't
was on
watch
the-
it.
Dude, it was on this new network called the Paramount Network. It used to be called Spike TV, and then they took over. Paramount took over, and now they're putting out like Waco, and they've got this brand new series called Yellowstone starring Kevin Costner.
Bill Peterson, I need you to upgrade.
So
upgrade your direct
Spike,
TV.
Spike
like,
TV
what?
doesn't exist anymore?
No, they Paramount Pictures bought it out, and now it's called
Wow.
Paramount, and it's like they're making these like mini series, and yeah.
Seems like pretty intriguing ones at that.
Yeah,
too.
so there's still dispute over how the fire even started, but yeah, it was intense. It was so tragic to watch. But so I was just in bed last night. I can't sleep. I felt
That's why it's so important to understand your theology,
dude,
and really know why you believe what you and question everything.
Right.
You know, that's what I tell people is you got to question everything, even the stuff you do believe. Why do you believe that?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, even I hate to say bring Brian Nixon into this, but it's you see a guy that's so smart like a Brian Nixon, and for me, I automatically just kind of believe everything he says.
You know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt watching this show.
Yeah.
Because he was such a
Charismatic.
kind, no, he's so kind. He
Really?
like he's portrayed in this anyways as he was so kind, and he believed what he believed, and like you don't understand, like God is speaking to me, and I don't want this responsibility, but it's being thrust upon me, and just like Jesus.
So drink the
you know,
Kool-Aid.
and it was like, right? Yeah, and it was just like, oh man. And so you just like, you felt for him, and then you're like, and he also had like 10 wives and like a bunch of kids.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
had like 12 kids.
Of course he
from
did.
all the different wives.
Was
So,
he abusive? Was he a bad guy, or he just was a super kind and loving? Wow.
I mean, from what I know from this only, of course.
Yeah.
Now this miniseries was written based upon the book that was co-written by an FBI agent and one of the survivors from within. So they
Okay.
like kind of put it together from
Seems
both
pretty
angles.
legit then, probably.
Yeah. And they were saying that they still don't agree on some of the details about like how the fire started or who shot first on the beginning, the raid, but they both were in super agreement on the character of David Koresh, on who he was, because the lead investigator had to talk to him on the phone every day. And then from within, obviously, they were surrounded by him for a long time. And he was just like this. It's really funny because he came off as this like really soft-spoken,
Yeah.
really knowledgeable about the Word of God guy, and this is what God has told me.
Which is interesting because in the Word it says to honor and respect the authorities that God has placed over you.
Yeah.
You know, so why, and you submit to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so did he not know that? Did he think that they were, you know, trying to get him to do something that went against the Bible, you know,
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy.
I really got to see
It's
this.
crazy.
I got to see it.
It was really intriguing to watch for that very reason, because it's like, man, we are called to be Bereans. We have got to study the Word of God. We've got to know why we believe
Question
what we believe.
everything.
Right.
And seriously, it doesn't matter who's speaking it from what pulpit.
Right.
You always take it back to the Word of God,
Yeah.
because it was amazing how easily all of these people were deceived from inside, and then it was also just a bad mix of that mixed with these hot shots who had just messed up something else in Montana, and so now that's like, we got to redeem ourselves, we got to get our public image going, and
Oh
so
yeah,
they're trying
that was with around the time of the Unabomber.
Unabomber. Yeah, that's
Dude,
right.
so
Yeah.
So I lived up in Montana. One of my friends, his dad, used to hang out with the Unabomber
No
up in
kidding.
Lincoln, because that's where he had his
Okay.
cabin.
Really?
Or he was his next door neighbor or something. You know, out on this. You know, when I say next door neighbor, there's like a mile between each house. But he told me stories, and it was crazy. That guy's just so he
Yeah.
lived in solitude. You know.
Do you remember, was it Dick Calabrese's? There was the story that happened, I think it was late 80s, maybe early 90s, where this woman was hiking. She was going out for a run in the mountains, and these two mountain guys, like hillbilly redneck guys, kidnapped her. They made a movie
In
out of it.
Montana?
In Montana.
Wow.
And I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of a big thing that made national
No,
news.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it was. I think I might have been. It might have been like in the early '80s or something. I was a little kid, but
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of crazy people up in Montana.
a lot
Especially
of crazy
Dex.
people everywhere, because then you look at what happened here, and then you look. I didn't realize, like 2 years later, in Oklahoma, the Oklahoma
Timothy
City-
McVeigh?
Timothy McVeigh.
Not
did
related.
Not related.
Not related.
Not related.
Actually, I got a call from a guy
Totally
in Utah
different
yesterday.
spelling.
He was like, "Are you related to Timothy McVeigh?" I'm like, "No,
No, I am not.
That's EIGH."
Yeah, totally spelled differently. But that was allegedly reading everything last night, because I was just intrigued and I couldn't sleep, and I'm like, how much of this is factual? Because again, you want to go back and see like what's what, so you go to Google. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, of course.
And Timothy McVeigh was inspired by that because he wanted to hurt the government after what they did to the Branch Davidians
Wow.
2 years prior. I didn't
How
know
do
any
they?
of
How do
this.
they know that?
How do they know that? Google.
Wikipedia.
I'm sure blogs existed and everything back then, and I'm
That's
sure he was
actually,
blogging
yeah.
and.
So
505-338-3700 if you'd like to call in. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. So I remember watching on the TV with the Branch Davidians. I could have maybe my memory's not as sharp as it used to, but I could have sworn when I was a kid that the ATF hopped over the mainline fence and that they had purposely set the fire to smoke them out, kind of like an Old West style thing.
that's exactly the way it is portrayed in the film, and unfortunately, they use these tanks to hit the compound with tear gas and knocked over
Yeah.
structures and trapped everyone inside,
Oh,
so
my
they
gosh.
couldn't escape.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but the
that's
government maintains, no, we did not do that. They say to this day, no.
Yeah, right.
But
oh,
then
it's
you,
not
yeah.
like the government to admit their
But
mistakes,
what's
man. Come
interesting
on.
is they were using real footage from television in the like when it actually happened on television. So they use like actual raw footage from it being live on
Oh
television.
my god.
The film of today. I'm telling you guys, it was very interesting to watch. Very
Yeah,
interesting to
so
watch.
that's really weird. The government sitting there telling people, no, we didn't do it, but they have raw raw footage. And I remember, again, I don't really remember because I was a kid, but
Right.
I could have sworn I remembered they were interviewing him just before that, like probably like maybe a day before they actually set the fire, and that they were talking about that one of their options was to go in there and smoke them out.
Yeah.
You know, and part of the whole thing too that they got up into the Branch Davidians was that the main reason was that they had heard stories of them stockpiling weapons, and so that they couldn't really get in there to check it out, so that they started fabricating stories of child abuse. Now, how fabricated was it? I don't know.
That's,
it is a cult, and those things are a little crazy.
Yep.
But that was the thing that they used to justify to get into the property.
That's exactly what you see on the TV show, too.
Bunch of dookie, if you ask me.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Dude, thanks for calling. He's not wrong in that, and that's the way it's all portrayed. That's exactly how it goes down.
So did any children make it out?
No.
Oh.
That's why I was like sobbing.
And did these
night.
women that they interviewed in the show, did they say that there was sexual abuse going on?
Yeah, they claim that they contend that none of that was going on.
Wow.
None of that was
And the FBI guys speaking differently about that?
Yeah, the guys that were on the outside. Nobody ever was on the inside. But that's exactly the way it's portrayed. So it's like, I don't know, I can't speak to it because it's a TV show. So it's like, how much was dramatized, how much was... But according to documents, according to everything that these guys say in their book and different files, that's exactly it. They believed that they were stockpiling weapons. They wanted to get inside. They didn't have a claim to get inside because America... And so they said, this guy's a pedophile and he's like harming people. So we need to get inside, make this happen. But depending on who you talk to, they contend that. Also, by the way, Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols both were cited as saying that the Mount Carmel Center raid was their motivation for the Oklahoma City bombing, which happened on April 19th, the same day as the final day of the siege. So it was, yeah. I'm like, where did I read that? Okay, right there. It coincided with the 2nd anniversary of the Waco assault. Crazy stuff, guys. I don't pay attention to history. I don't know anything.
I was barely 1.
Okay.
That's crazy.
When did that happen?
1993.
Yeah, I was 1.
I remember it, man. I was watching it unfold on TV. You were 1?
I was 1.
One, dude.
We're getting old, Steve-O.
Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah. And thank you, Paul. I was talking about that other movie that they made up in Montana, The Abduction of Carrie Swanson was the name of the movie. It's a really good movie. Before we go to break, we want to remind you guys there's a special memorial broadcast to Billy Graham.
Yes.
And it's going to happen right here on Star 88 at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
with a special encore broadcast this Sunday, March 4th on Gospel Brunch at 8 a.m.
Coming up, speaking of that, I got a story behind the casket.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Billy Graham is oh, man.
Yep. Man, we got a huge show today. 585 Live. You want to text into the show?
Maybe we could talk about something happy. I'm like, we just talked about Waco. We're going to talk about Billy Graham's casket.
Dude, there's nothing like talking about Waco at 6 in the morning,
Yeah, right?
bro. That's the best conversation to have.
I'm alive now. I'm awake.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, I just want to leave and go watch this show. I want to go binge watch Waco right now. Maybe I could borrow your password for DirecTV.
Okay.
We're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. We'll do some headlines when we come back.
Wakey, preciouses. It's time for the morning invasion. Stupid, fat little beauty. It ruins it. No. Listen, Steve-O and my friends. You don't have any friends. No one likes you. I'm not listening. No, yes, I'm listening. The morning invasion. Shut.
I'm Daniel, and it's time to get in the techno. I'm gonna be honest with you, since CES ended, things have been kind of boring in the tech world. Samsung released new 860 SSDs that are as fast as the old 850s. And smart speakers Google Home Max and Apple HomePod leave a ring on wood unless you put something under them like a coaster. The official repeal of net neutrality is underway, but states have been setting their own rules to enforce fair use of the web. Disney lost a lawsuit against Redbox, with courts agreeing that Redbox can sell Disney's movies. SpaceX's latest landing failed, with the rocket fairings landing in the ocean instead of on a giant net attached to a boat. Cryptocurrency miners are still acting unethical and stealing people's processing power in various ways. And believe it or not, Samsung's releasing a new smartphone that's got a better camera, and it's a little bit faster than the last one. Cool stuff. I'm Daniel, and now you're in the techno on Star 88.
A solar flare from Timothy Keller. The gospel is this: we are more sinful and flawed in ourselves than we ever dared believe. Yet at the very same time, we are more loved and accepted in Jesus Christ than we ever dared hope. Star 88. Judah Smith seeks to define the purpose and meaning in life. He says life is to trust God in every moment.
Now I'm gonna tell you something. As a pastor, as a fellow Jesus follower, what do you want to pray for? I'll pray for anything. You better hear me. You want to pray for a parking spot, Christmas time at the mall? I'm in. You want to pray for a bonus? Let's go. You want to pray for a new job? I'm in. You want to pray for restoration of your marriage? Let's go. I'm that guy. You want to pray for a t-shirt? I'm in. I think you can pray about everything. I got no problem with any of that. God wants to bless you. He says in this life, you'll have houses and lands. It can be a testimony to God, but let us not forget that in all of our trinkets and toys and stuff and things and possessions, it all culminates in pointing us back to the source, the resourcer, the provider, the point of it all, and it's Jesus.
Trust God in every moment. That's Judah Smith with a Star 88 PowerPoint.
What's going on in the news today?
Jeff Flake's not waiting for the president's action. He and 2 Democrats want a law that bans the device, which helps rifles mimic automatic weapons. The NRA says it prefers regulations and not a new law. President Trump says he wants to eliminate bump stocks either way.
U.S. officials say they're not so sure about Russian President Vladimir Putin's claim his country has a nuclear weapon that can't be intercepted. They tell ABC the weapon's still being developed.
Parts of California's Santa Barbara County will be under mandatory evacuation.
Trump comes face to face with Attorney General Jeff Sessions for the first time since the president called actions by Sessions disgraceful in a tweet.
I've also spoken with Jeff about bringing a lawsuit against some of these opioid companies.
White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders was asked by ABC News if the president wants to get rid of Sessions. She responded, "Not that I know of."
The head of the Beer Institute says the aluminum tariff will be more like a $344 million tax on the American beverage industry, predicting it could cost thousands of jobs.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. You can watch the show. Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Star 88 FM. Just search it. We're live right now on both platforms. Go subscribe. Go like our page on Facebook.
We currently have a crazy pregnant lady ranting on our Facebook Live, so I apologize to everybody else. Yeah. Britt Romney's on there. You're not allowed to look in the bag. Don't even look in the bag. Those are hers.
I already had one.
Yeah. So
you had one?
No, I didn't.
Oh. But now I know your middle name, and we have the same middle name, and that's cool.
We do?
Yes. Is your middle name Michael?
Miguel.
Oh. No,
Miguel.
No, it's Michael.
Yeah. Yep, Stephen Michael. My parents were like,
Seth Michael?
What is the whitest name we can think of?
Yes.
Stephen Michael. Cool. That's usually what happens when I'm getting yelled at, too.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Michael Jeter. I'm like, okay.
Yep, same here.
Okay.
Yep.
You can text into the show 505-585-LIVE. Also, phone lines are open, 505-338-3700. Guys, we're 15 days until St. Paddy's Day.
Mm-hmm.
63 days until Avengers Infinity War. Wow. That's right around the corner, guys.
Dude.
Oh, wait, did they push? They pushed
I was
it
just
back.
about to say. No.
April 27th.
They pushed it up.
Yep.
So I'm like,
like
it's like a week earlier now.
Yep.
So less days.
I saw that. Why did they do that?
Probably because May is Deadpool 2 Solo. There was another big one, and so they didn't want to contend with it, so they were like, "Let's move it up," and I'm like, "Okay, yes, let's move it up." I'm so happy. Let's be real. That's gonna be the best movie.
They should just release them all right now. The Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh god.
The next Spider-Man.
It's gonna be a great.
They need
year.
them all right now.
Great year for
this
Marvel.
second.
It really is, guys. Chrissy still hasn't even seen Black Panther. I need to take her to Black Panther.
I haven't seen it either.
Oh!
Dude, I'm poor, man. I can't afford
true.
20
You've
bucks
got a
to go. Yeah, when she wants sushi, dude, I'm spending my paychecks on sushi and cookies.
Do you ever go to the movies by yourself?
No.
Okay.
Really?
I have not been.
I love solo movies.
You know what? I do like that, but I've never been since I've been married.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did when I was in Montana because I was a
Britt
solo
Romney. Let him go to the
person.
movies.
I love going to the movies by myself.
Me too.
I can take a nap. It's so great.
Well, like
What's
if
the
I'm
point
with
in
a
going
group
to
of
a movie?
people,
right? Seriously.
but when I'm with a bunch of people, I'll miss stuff because I'll be like watching and be like, oh, and then we're like talking, and I'm like, so when I'm by myself, I'm just taking everything in,
Totally.
loving it.
Yeah, you can't talk to anybody anyways usually, so why not go by yourself?
Unless I see Deadpool with one of you, I'll probably end
We don't
up
watch
going
that.
by
You
myself.
can't
We don't
that
watch
on the
that
show.
movie. We
see
didn't
that.
see that movie opening day. That movie broke my heart because we went together and there was seriously a mom with like
No, I didn't go with
7
you.
and 8
What are
year
you
olds.
talking about?
Right,
She
right
probably
there.
didn't know.
No, they knew because the kids were cursing, and I was going,
Oh.
"That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Even the trailer for it's a little.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Next.
Okay.
Speaking of movies.
Yeah, speaking of movies, let's jump right into... Whoa, wrong button here. Hold on. There it is.
Headline! All right, everybody, welcome to Friday, and you know what that means. Another round of Hollywood peddling their new movies. I honestly think we should just stop because Black Panther's going to be #1 for 17 more weeks.
Good morning.
Actually, is it?
No, that's not true because...
Well, yeah, because as soon as
Infinity
Avengers...
War is coming out.
That's going to be fun to do Hollywood hits during that time.
Is
because
he in that?
Avengers... Who?
Black Panther.
Oh, of course. If you look at the trailer carefully, part of it takes place in Wakanda.
No way.
Sorry,
Wakanda.
anyways, okay.
I took the trailer challenge.
Oh, dude. You're a better man than I. Better man than I. That's going to be interesting because the end of April, beginning of May, it's like we got Avengers, then we've got Solo, we've got Deadpool 2. What's going to win the box office?
I don't know.
I feel like Avengers is just going to for
Each week it's going
Ever.
to be the one that comes out.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man.
What do we have out this weekend?
All
Anything
right.
good? Anything good?
Depends on your definition of good. Jennifer Lawrence is an injured ballerina who witnesses a murder and is forced into becoming an undercover spy for Russia. That's hard to do Russian and that guy's voice.
Russia.
All right, everybody. We've got the work for you. Hello, everybody. That's really hard to do.
Is that like a Hispanic Russian? Try to roll your R's there.
That's true. They roll their R's, don't they? Russian. Hello. You like the Russian people?
Yeah.
I will take a burrito.
You know, I've never met someone from Russia, so I don't know.
Okay. She's assigned to a job to get on the good side of this American CIA agent who knows the identity of the mole in the Russian government, played by Joel Edgerton, who was also in such great hits as Star Wars The Phantom Menace and Bright. He played the orc in that. He's actually a great actor. It's based on a spy thriller written by a former CIA operative. The agency liked it so much they actually posted a review of his book on their website and referred to its descriptions of spy technique as tradecraft for dummies.
Wow.
Okay. That's in theaters this week. Also in theaters this week, Bruce Willis stars as Paul Kersey in the remake of the classic 1974 Charles Bronson revenge thriller, Death Wish. Basically, he's this vigilante who unleashes death on every criminal he meets after his wife is killed in an armed robbery that also puts his daughter in a coma. Elizabeth Shue plays his wife, at least for a little bit. It's directed by Eli Roth, the guy who did terrible horror movies, and so it's probably going to be gnarly. Vincent D'Onofrio is also in it. Unlike the original, the action in this one has moved from New York to Chicago. And instead of an architect, this version of Kersey is an ER surgeon. So, there you go. Those are new, and let's be real. When was the last time Bruce Willis was in like an epic movie?
Yeah, I was just looking at his IMDb, and
When's
I
the
can't
next
remember the last
Die Hard coming out.
Die Hard Year 1. They announced it. There's just not a date yet. It says
Die
John
Hard
McClane
Year
rumor.
1?
Yeah, I didn't even hear about that.
Year 1? How are they going to make him look young? He doesn't have any hair. I'm serious.
I know. I was watching Friends the other day, and he's done Friends when he's younger.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yeah, he had
He
hair.
had that like receding hairline.
Yeah.
They're really cool. Come on.
Looks like me, kind of.
Okay, but real. When was the last time he was technically in Split
Let's
for
see.
0.4 seconds?
Yeah, that's true.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's had a big
Come on, guys.
Red 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red 2.
When was that?
That was 2013.
Gosh.
He was in G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Heck yeah!
Red 2.
General Joe. He was G.I. Joe.
Yeah, so right around 2012, those were his last
Those are
movies.
the only two big releases this weekend. Anybody want to take a gander as to what's going to win the box office?
Do we all
Black Panther.
Do we all think Black Panther will be number 1, so we got to pick number 2.
So yeah, I think Black Panther
Yeah.
is going to win the box office.
What's the rating on these movies?
They're bad. They're bad. It's a pirate's favorite movie. Both of them. They're both pirates' favorite movies.
Star 88.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna say Red Sparrow.
Which is why I don't think they're gonna. They're both like one's like a CIA operative movie, one's just a Bruce Willis flick. They're both rated R, so it's gonna limit the audience.
Red Sparrow will be number 2.
You think so? Because Jennifer Lawrence?
No, I just think that
because the story's more compelling.
Yeah, well, the whole Russian thing that's going on and Putin, it's a hot topic right now, and I just feel like people really want to.
I love how into this game you get. You're actually pretending like you think you know.
I am. I do know because I've gotten the last 2 right.
No,
we're gonna make it 3.
Oh, that's true. He has gotten 2 in a row. So Black Panther number 1. We all think that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? We though?
What do you think?
There's 2 really
it brought in a lot
big
last
movies.
weekend.
It did. There's 2 ginormous movies out this week, though.
Well, it looks like
Jennifer
you got to take
Lawrence
Death
movie
Wish
and a Bruce Willis movie.
You better take Death Wish before Seth does.
Ooh.
Yeah, but what else is big? Peter Rabbit was.
I don't even know what's
big
in
last
theaters
week.
besides this.
Annihilation, which was like bleh.
Number 2.
Oh
What?
yeah,
Annihilation.
wasn't that
that's
number?
gonna be number
Dude,
2?
I want to see it.
That was
It
number
looks-
4 last
That
That's
was like
Natalie
number 4.
Portman,
I
bro.
know, but dude, I'm just saying, you got Jennifer Lawrence or Natalie Portman?
Natalie Portman.
Okay.
Princess
Amidala. Queen Amidala.
So, Steve-O, you got?
I'll take Death Wish.
Okay.
Because I have to.
I'm going to lose, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Watch Seth win.
I'm a loser, guys.
No, you're a
you know,
winner.
you never know. Sometimes when movies come out and they don't do all that well, the buzz starts, oh, it was a great movie.
So
and then people go,
Annihilation is
true.
rated R as well, isn't
Isn't
it?
that weird that all movies lately, maybe they're like trending that way to they're like, hey guys, we just want to be on the
Until
safe
the
side.
summertime when all the kids are out of school.
Yeah.
And they release all the PG-13 movies.
They released a couple kid movies recently, Early Man and what was the other one? Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
And Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. So there you go. Okay. That's our Hollywood hits. You say Red Sparrow. I say Death Wish. You say Annihilation. Okay.
And I'm going to lose.
It's Annihilation.
Annihilation.
It's my favorite.
Oh, man. Okay. Moving on. John Jones, bro. He's been in the media a lot lately.
Yeah.
He got handed down his first suspension, if you will, right? From California. But now he's got to face USADA.
Yeah, he got fined $250,000.
The CSAC gave him a $250,000 fine and revoked his license until what, August? And now he's got to face USADA.
So when they get fined that amount of money, do they have to pay it in one thing?
I was thinking the exact
writing
same
a
thing.
check?
Yeah.
Write a big old check.
Yeah,
Not
does he
that
have
it
to
would
pay before
probably
he can fight
matter
again?
for him, but
I don't know, but I feel like it kind of matters for him. He hasn't. When was his last big payday?
did he get paid for the Cormier fight?
I think
Yeah,
so.
he did.
Right? He got paid, but
from what I hear, because I got
Still,
best
if he
friends.
makes
got
if
eyes
he
and
makes
ears
500,000 and he
He's-
has to give 200, like
he's a millionaire.
He makes more than
He's
I
a
do.
He's still a
one
millionaire.
yeah, but is that all tied up in assets, or does he have cash?
From what I hear,
We need to get John on the show. I want to ask him that, just that question.
How much money you got in the
Listen,
bank?
how much you got? And can you pay this
Are you
fine
okay,
straight
man?
up?
Do you need
Is
us
that
to do
how
a
they do
fundraiser?
it? I've always wondered that, especially when it's like you watch those TV movies and it's like bail is set at $3 million. And you're
It's
like,
like what?
$3 million? Nobody's got $3 million. And then you find out it's like, well, actually, you only have to pay like a tenth of that, and something. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, we need to get talking to a bond man or
I
something.
know, right? Excuse me, bail bondsman. Just
Yeah.
in the off chance my bail is set at $3 million, do I have to pay that all at once?
Actually, I think I know someone that does that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Misha Tate vented recently to feelings many John Jones fans, I guess, could relate to. Disillusionment. She said she felt that she'd just been on the John Jones roller coaster too long, and she's decided it's time to check out. She said, I've heard this story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times already, so unless he shows me something different than just saying, I'm a changed man, he's got to do a lot more to gain me back as a fan and to care to see him compete again. I just don't want to be let down. Well, John Jones responded to Misha on Twitter. He said, I don't quit when things get tough for me. I get stronger. You just wait and see. Maybe you'll even find motivation in it. Sucks I lost you as a fan. Enjoy retirement, sister.
You know what? That was a good response.
That was a good
That's
response.
how you respond to that. I hope I can prove you wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if he's truly a changed man, he wouldn't respond with, "Oh yeah, I'll show you." Yeah, you jerk.
Let's go to the ring,
dude. I love that. Yeah,
Or the
right. I love how
octagon.
kind he. Yeah. So, but it's true. I mean, it that does tend to happen. But as we know in Scripture, it's like how many times we got to forgive this dude? How many times? It's like 7 times. You know, and it's like 70 times 7. Man, you just keep.
What are we forgiving him for exactly?
Failing us again?
Well, letting us down, really.
My kids are.
You look up to a guy like that.
We still in their like toy room, if you will, whatever, their playroom. We have a John Jones signed glove that he used. Like my kids love John Bones Jones.
Mm-hmm.
They look up to that man, and so every single time he fails a drug test, every single time he's stripped of the title, I have to go back and go, "Hey guys, this happened again." But you know what we're going to do? We're going to pray for him. We're going to remember that every single one of us are humans. We're susceptible to failure. We all fall short. But also use this as motivation to not fall, because this is it. Yeah. Like all things done in dark, right? They're going to be brought to the light. And you think you're going to get away with it, and you're not. But it's hard.
I hope John Jones has the biggest comeback ever. I mean,
I love him.
He'll come if he comes back and gets the fight this year. He is going to destroy everybody because he is the greatest fighter of all time.
In August, he can go before the board, right, and try to get his license back?
In August, he can try and get his license back, but he still has to face USADA, which is the United States, because that was only handed down from the California State Athletic Commission, and now he's got to face USADA.
Which could be up to 4 years.
It could, yeah. He's still facing like the big dog.
How old is he?
He's 30.
30?
Yeah. How do you know so much about John?
Well, I used to train with him.
Did you?
Yeah, I conditioned.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the old Jackson's gym?
No, he went, it was a personal trainer that he had up on Wyoming and Candelaria.
Yeah.
Wow, he's 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just wanted to corroborate your story.
I have
my wife says that all the time.
Hanging out with Ricky, my best friend Richie Rick.
Yeah.
Him and John Jones are best friends.
Yeah.
So I can't even.
That your best friend has a best friend. That's not you.
wish that I could tell some of the stories that I have about John Jones. I've shared a couple with you.
No.
But I can't because
you know who else?
I'd get in trouble.
So here's the question: who are we going to see in the octagon first? Conor McGregor or John Jones?
Or Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's it. Like who will
Did
we
you see that video he
see?
put out on going into the octagon?
Is he training in the octagon?
I don't know if he is, but he put out a video that he was.
That's just dumb.
Yeah, I know.
I want to see it, but then I'm like, it's not going to last
Dude,
very long.
He'd get handled.
What if? Okay, if this would be funny. What if he'd been training? What if he was like a karate expert or something that we had no idea, and he just comes out and just leg kicks Connor and knocks him down?
No, there's
Can you
no
imagine?
way. No, I can't.
No,
There's literally
well,
no
that's
way.
kind of how
He's an
Connor and
athlete.
Jose Aldo were.
Think about it, man. He's an athlete. He's one of the. He is probably one of the greatest athletes of all time, and I'm sure it wouldn't be tough for him to train for 6 months in the octagon and probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're going against Conor McGregor, who has a background in wrestling. And
See, but that's the thing. I wish they could make one rule, and it's you can't no takedowns. You can
That
kick.
is the dumbest
you can
thing.
like that.
Why would you watch
martial
that?
arts.
I get it. But that's the thing. It's going to be over so
Guys,
quick.
no
He'll take him down
takedowns.
like that. It'll be dumb.
Yeah.
It'll be dumb.
Well,
Exactly.
that's part of the game.
Kicks.
Connor went into
punches.
his arena.
Man,
Dude, preach it.
no, I get
Amen.
it. But it's a totally different ball game, man.
But Floyd's also 40, right?
Yeah.
So that's.
It's probably going to happen, guys.
I don't know how you do that, man, when you're that old. I can barely move now. And
Right?
Dude, we're a couple days away from the Oscars. Does anybody watch the Oscars anymore?
Well, you're going to have to hold on to the Oscars. We have to go to break.
Oh, it's already 7?
Yep.
What is happening? Coming up, we'll talk Oscars.
I
had
gotta
a
leave,
chance
guys,
to,
by the way.
Sad.
Dude, I told you I got to work tomorrow, and I'm behind on work. And
Fine.
Britt needs her cookies.
Go
Yeah.
take Britt her cookies.
she won't get them till tonight, but and she may not get them. So.
It's true, because they're delicious and they smell amazing. I'm like, I'm going to go eat one or two right now.
I'm glad you hung out with us, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, man. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're live from the Dreamstar Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Hang on.
February 21st of 2018 must have been a date circled in red on heaven's calendar because that was the day Billy Graham was ushered into his reward for being a faithful servant of Jesus Christ.
I don't claim to be going to heaven today because I have preached or because I'm a good man. I claim to be going to heaven only on the merit and the ground of Jesus.
Just As He Is, a tribute to Billy Graham, is hosted by Skip Heitzig and features interviews with the Graham family, Dr. James Dobson, Toby Mack, Kurt Warner, and many more who have been impacted by the amazing life of Billy Graham.
And every time you see a cross, it should remind you of what you mean to God. Jesus not only died for all, He died for each.
Listen to Just As He Is, a tribute to Billy Graham on this station.
Sunday, March 4th at 10 a.m. and March 11th at 8 a.m. on Star 88.
Star 88 thanks Jake Canales at Doorway Home Loans for becoming a power partner. Jake Canales at Doorway Home Loans provides VA, FHA, USDA, and conventional home loans for purchase and refinance mortgages. Jake Canales, Doorway Home Loans, 505-261-5138. Doorway.com/Jake-Canales. Jake Can. Philippians 4:13. NMLS number 310617. Doorway Home Loans, a DBA of International City Mortgage Incorporated. NMLS number 222730.
We all have a yearning for acceptance. Well, this week on A New Beginning, from his studies in Ephesians, Pastor Greg Laurie points out that believers are accepted in the Beloved. You may have heard that phrase and wondered what it means. Its meaning will fill you with wonder. Tune in this week for A New Beginning with Pastor Greg Laurie.
Make an appointment with Greg Laurie weekdays at 8:30 a.m. on our sister station, KNKT 107.1 FM. This is Star 88 at 88.3 FM, KLYT, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and online at star88.fm.
There is a creature alive today, without passion and without logic. It is as if God gave him
It's the Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hola, this is Rosa.
Hello.
Okay. What do you want, Britt Romney?
Oh, it's Britt Romney, everybody.
Hola.
What's up?
Hey, we were talking about shirts, and so I called to pick a bone with you guys because the reason I wasn't on Tuesday is because I'm a little hurt at you guys.
Talk to us.
Okay.
Talk to us.
Guys, for everybody who doesn't know, this is Britt Romney. She basically runs our Facebook Live feed.
She's the president.
She's the president. She bosses everyone around.
Stop it. No, I don't.
What happened? What did we do? What did we do?
Okay, so it's my birthday in 14 days.
Okay.
And you guys were my favorite
until Friday. Or Saturday,
No.
she met Heidi.
What?
And Heidi gave her T-shirts, and I was like, "Why did you give her T-shirts?"
Heidi gave you T-shirts.
Heidi did just one T-shirt. Heidi gave me 2 T-shirts.
You got 2 T-shirts from Heidi?
Because she was at the road show.
Why are you such a T-shirt hog?
And I was at the marriage conference, and Heidi was there, and she's like, "Oh man, we don't have a small, but you know what? I'm going to call right now to see if they can bring you one."
Wow. That girl.
I was like, "You know what, Heidi? I don't care what they say about you. You are amazing. You are my favorite now."
Everybody loves her once they get out to a Star 88 event and realize she's much cooler than we are because she gives away all the free stuff.
Which is why whenever we ever ask for things, she never gives us.
She never gives us anything
because she wants to hoard all of the love.
She does. And give it to you.
I told her, I was like, "You know what, Heidi? I'm like, can you believe that these guys have not given me anything for my birthday?" I'm like, "It's okay. This made up for it. Thank you. I really appreciate it." When I stopped crying.
I thought you said in 14. It's like March 15th. We have
it doesn't matter.
We have 2 weeks.
Listen,
Heidi, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Can I say something real quick? Britt Romney, please. Can I say something? We get yelled at if we take more than one when we're not supposed to.
Yeah.
We get yelled at. She throws paper in our face.
I don't believe that.
Do you want
I
us to get yelled at?
You throwing paper in your face.
Oh, you've never seen her get angry. She
cries,
cries.
paper cuts
she
us.
Yells, she screams.
Paper cuts us.
Yeah.
She told me some stories of what you guys do to her too, and I was pretty appalled.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Hardly ever see her.
I don't want you I don't want you to dump me, so I can't say anything. I'm just kidding. No. But seriously, 14 days. So if you guys can just mark
You are the
calendar
first person
there.
I've ever met that does like birthday month. It's not like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's my
Really?
birthday week.
No, I know somebody.
Is it Britt Romney?
Teo did all the time.
Teo did birthday year.
Yeah, he'd do
Like,
year.
Every year. Every year. It's like, hey, his birthday's August 13th, so
Like
or
each
August
year?
12th. August 13th.
You know why?
12th? I don't even remember him.
My family's like that, dude. We do birthday month because see, my mom's birthday is in March too. She's March 5th, and so we're like we celebrate the whole month of
Great.
March for our birthday.
I don't know, man. That's a
just-
little excessive.
Again, another reason why Seth should be sainted. All of these things you say. See, he's such a good man.
Oh no!
He's such a good
Seth
man.
tell you guys what I asked for my birthday?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
What was that you're cutting out? Well, what's that again?
Listen, couple. Okay, tell
Go
me.
ahead.
I want to know. Okay, if people really need to give an honest opinion. I want to see people's honest opinion.
Okay.
I asked Seth to buy us couples dance lessons.
You're a saint. Not you, Brett.
Seth is a saint if he does this.
Well, I texted him the other night when he was studying. I took
Couples
taken,
dance
away.
lessons? Gosh.
Yeah, so I texted
you...
him. I was like, do you know what I really want for my birthday? And he's like, what do you want, baby? I was like, I want to go to couples dance lessons. Dude, let me tell you, it took him like 15 minutes to text me back.
Well, yeah. You know what? I just realized who you are. You are the star of The Real Housewives of Albuquerque. You
Good call.
need to start a show. You'll be great.
You and your phone.
You're the person
bed.
on reality
Okay,
TV that
listen,
people
guys,
love.
Let me tell you, I was operating in some manipulation because the only reason that I asked, because Seth hates to dance, dude. He's like, he's not a dancer. We go anywhere. He's like, okay, if we're not like two-stepping, and he even that, he like,
Probably has great footwork. He played football.
No, dude, let me tell you, he hates it, right? So the only reason I asked is because we were like post 2 days after the marriage conference, and I was like, I wonder if like I text him and asked him for couples dance lessons, what he would say.
Oh, you always wait till after the marriage.
Seth, call me, bro. I have a friend who owns a dance studio here.
See, do they offer couples dance lessons?
Of course they do.
I'll teach you how to do
All
it.
right. I'll let Seth know.
No, you don't
So
have
anyways,
to.
okay, guys, just
He
wanted-
listens
I
to
wanted to
every
let you
word I
know
say.
14
He
Hey,
hangs on.
Brett. Also, you know what? Stop recording your husband when he's laying in bed, just trying to relax.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know,
you
after
know-
a hard day's work.
You know how stumbling that is to see that man shirtless? I'm like, I
It
gotta
is.
get back to
I
the
stumble
gym.
every day.
I know.
You guys are so ridiculous. Is this when I asked him to go get me sushi?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
every
too.
time you guys are in bed, you're
That
like,
too, but then he's
hey,
always
look at
shirtless.
me. Instagram live with my shirtless husband next to me who is a football star. Look at that
All
chest.
ripped and stuff.
I'm like, wow.
He's always like pretty much covered up.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. You can humble brag. You got a hot hubby. That's fine. It's cool.
I know, I really do.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you're cutting out. You're cutting out.
Bye guys.
Britt Romney, everybody.
We need to start a reality TV show in Albuquerque. Real Housewives of Albuquerque. Britt Romney would be the head of that house.
Yep. Starmy, good morning.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Buck, welcome to the program.
Yes. So, do you have your wish worked out?
My wish?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, Steve-O kind of broke the news to me yesterday. Am I not supposed to be talking about this on the air? Your Make-A-Wish thing?
What?
It's because you weren't here yesterday because you were dying.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
My Make-A-Wish?
You're terminal, right?
I'm
That's
dying.
why-
Oh,
that's
Steve-O.
why he took the day off.
Steve-O exaggerates everything.
I didn't exaggerate anything.
You told Buck I was dying?
I didn't say you were dying.
I was dying. I
I'm
felt
going
like
back.
I was
I'm
dying.
going back to my texts.
I felt
You
like I was
sound
dying.
you sound just fine now.
Oh, really? Well, I'm not like sick. I had diarrhea and I puked. That has nothing to do with my voice.
I literally said, Dex got sick. That's my 3-word text.
Do I have to sound sick?
I didn't say dying.
Just kind of,
But here's the thing. He has never been sick, and this year, because he bragged about how he's never sick,
For real.
he's been sick so many times.
I didn't take one sick day last year. Not one time I got sick, and then I was bragging about it, and I've been sick twice already. What, you don't believe me?
I do believe you.
Why would I have any reason?
I
not
don't know.
to
You just
believe
sound like you're not buying it. You know, with your condescending Make-A-Wish statement.
I'm just concerned about you. That's all.
I'm concerned about you.
You are getting older.
I'm not even 40 yet. I'm not even old. You've been
You're
40 for many
halfway
years.
through your life. You realize that? You're halfway through your life.
No, man, I'll live to be 100.
Actually, you're more than halfway through your life because according to the pact that we made, 65, lights out, baby.
You're taking that literally, aren't you?
You told me to take it literally.
I was joking. It was for radio.
See, now you're worried about it.
You know what? I'm not worried about it. You'll be gone before then. You'll be dead. You'll be dead.
Wasn't there a movie that had something like that where the dude like made a deal with somebody? It was like Mickey Rourke or something, and he showed up to he's like,
I remember that.
I made you a promise, and I'm a man of my word.
Yeah.
What?
Buck will be dead before then. It'll be fine.
Okay.
No,
you're in bad health. Let's talk about that.
I'm in bad health.
You're in bad health.
I'm very healthy.
How many times did you go to the doctor last year? How many times did you go to the doctor?
My news. I was going to talk about Chris Hemsworth. I was going to talk about Black Panther. Also, the new Wonder Woman movie. But that's fine.
Big shocker. You're going to talk about more comic book stuff.
Yeah, shocker.
I'm a nerd.
You're right. Who cares about that? They're only the highest grossing films in the history of all time. My bad.
Hey, I got a question for you. Are you okay with Dick's Sporting Goods banning assault rifles?
Okay.
I don't think they're banning them. I think they're pulling them off the shelves.
Right. They're banning them from their stores.
Yeah, I mean, what else?
I mean, do you guys want to get into this conversation? We
no,
can.
We have 2 minutes until we break, and then we've got Shock Therapy Live. And oh my god!
I just wanted to know real quick your thoughts on it. You okay with that?
Did you guys tell Stephen Christian I'm replacing him?
Oh no, should we tell him? Am I supposed to tell him?
For what? What are you replacing him with?
Shock Therapy Live.
You mean today?
Oh, just need a general, Dexter. Come on.
No, Nate Heitzig is the one who hosts it. You got to take it up with our boss.
You should let him know that.
You know, second in command of the kingdom.
What?
I thought that was Jesus. That is God the Father, Jesus.
Gosh, what is happening? Man, everything just went downhill.
My life's going downhill. Where's my drop? Where's my drop?
My life's going downhill.
Thank you, girl.
Oh man.
How come Nate's not been doing Shock Therapy Live?
He's in Israel, man.
He's in Israel. Yeah, he's on that trip.
Oh, okay. Of course he is. Is he sending you GoPro videos like all these?
Oh my gosh, you should see. You should see them. They're everywhere. Like, is that his GoPro? Like his or no, not his GoPro.
The drone?
Does he have a drone?
I thought so.
Yeah, he's got this drone that flies over everything, man.
But you got to be careful in Palestine,
right?
I'm just kidding.
Wow, Steve-O.
Black Panther has surpassed Wonder Woman and Toy Story 3 at the box office, guys.
Nerd alert.
It's huge news. It's going to become this is going to become the highest grossing film ever.
Big shocker, another Marvel movie made a boatload of money.
I mean, that's a pretty big deal considering it's only been out for 12 days and it's already made, $421 million.
Have you seen it yet, Buck?
No.
Oh, my gosh. You don't care about Wakanda.
Dude!
Here's the thing. You know, I don't have as much free time on my hands as you do, Dexter.
Really? I've already seen it 3 times.
I don't even know how you managed to go out and see it with the 18 baseball games that your kids play a week.
I mean,
I don't even know how you had time to do that.
Yeah. Because, man, priorities, bro. Priorities.
Yeah. I don't only seen it 6 times.
I don't have friends anymore, but I do have my kids and Marvel. So it's all I need. It's all I need.
Yo, dog, we got to go.
It's 8:58.
Oh, you know what?
And he's gonna hang up.
You don't have to be so rude, Buck. Jeez.
It's the Morning Invasion with Dex and Steve-O.
You've got a way of finding peace and being incomplete. A silhouette you exhibit, so you You'll never have to claim defeat, 'cause somehow, some way, someone found a reason to betray. Maybe I can be your shelter. Maybe I can be safety. But the silhouette you exhibit will never let you be complete. 'Cause somehow, some way, someone chose to throw this love away from this. You can find me waiting when you're ready. Away from this, lay your torment down, 'cause I am with you now.
Here's the story of a man named Dex who had a very famous edgy morning show. Then one day, this Dexter lost his job. He was all alone. Till one day when this Dexter met this fellow, and they knew that Steve-O was the one. And this duo would somehow form a show. The morning invasion became their show. Became their show.
Became their show.
Became their show.
Became their
The
show.
morning invasion became their show.
Stormy, I love you. Stormy, you're so cool.
Okay. That was pretty cool.
You're cool.
Thanks, buddy.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show, live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Dex and Steve-O. We're live on the YouTube channel. Go subscribe, Star 88 FM, also Facebook Live. Good morning, Thebes. Good morning, Felicia, Jarrett. Welcome to the show, everybody. Everybody listening, wherever you're at, thank you so much for chiming in. You guys can always text into the show. We love the text messages.
We do.
505-585-LIVE. But you remember, you guys can always call and leave voicemails. And I haven't checked it this morning, so...
Next message.
I just wanted to say that your station and your morning show have left such a profound effect on my life. I struggled through some hard times recently, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I've been able to share some of what I've been through, share some of my stories.
That's cool.
I think your station's fantastic. I love the morning show. I just want to say that Jackie, Tony, and Donnie are my favorites. Phenomenal station.
That's
great music.
No,
thank you.
Okay.
Amen.
Deleted.
You gotta be kidding me.
I think he's got the wrong station, man.
Well, let's see what else we got.
Next message.
The Morning Invasion. A place to laugh, a place to cry, where you are challenged, where you can escape. The melting pot of all types, from the super religious to the atheist. A community of extended family, but also a place where individual characters are shocked that not everyone knows their name. Where everyone can be equally offended and built up as they wish. This is the point of collision. This is where we all collide. Prepare for impact. It is the morning invasion. Star 88.
Deleted.
It was a little long.
That was a good one.
A little long. You guys could shorten them a little bit. It'd be cool.
What do you want from people?
I don't know, man.
Next message.
Hey, Star 88 fans. Do you love watching old episodes of The Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island, MASH, Friends, The Office, Parks and Recreation?
Yeah.
Well, tune in to Star 88 on 88.3 for the morning invasion with Dex and Steve-O. They have reruns for days.
Deleted.
Really? Reruns for days?
Man.
This isn't the Buck and Dex show, okay? This is the Dex and Steve-O show. World famous Dex and Steve-O show.
It's called the Morning Invasion.
Nah, we're going to change our name, man.
No, definitely not going to do that.
How about the greatest morning show in the universe, Dex and Steve-O? We got to make ourselves seem really big.
Next message.
The Morning Invasion, the home of Dex and Screamo Steve-O, a place where TMI is a good thing.
Deleted.
Okay. Screamo Steve-O, that's your new name.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Next message.
You can run, but you can't hide. Dex and Steve-O are about to fly. Come on, Stormy, let me hear your battle cry. Oh! The morning invasion. Star 88.
Deleted.
That's what I'm talking about. That's it.
Oh my gosh, guys. 505-585 live.
Woo!
That's 505-585-5483 if you want to call in and leave a voicemail.
Please. I look forward to checking them every day. And you know what? This is a good batch.
Mm-hmm.
We got one more voicemail to check.
Oh, no.
Next message.
TMI. It's Dex and Steve-O. TMI.
Deleted.
Okay, well, I feel like you could have been a little more creative, but appreciate it.
I mean,
TMI.
What? You're singing it.
You know what? It is
It's
kind of
catchy.
catchy. TMI. Brody, there you go. TMI. I want Brody to sing that around the house today. TMI.
It's Dex and Steve-O.
TMI.
Maybe we can have him sing a song this morning.
Oh, whoa.
Come up with a new jingle for the morning invasion.
Oh, whoa.
Because you know what day it is. You know he's going to be calling at some point, right?
Guys, it's Party Hard Friday!
Talking away. I don't know what's left to be. I'll say it anyway. I do not know the words. Shying away.
I'm
coming for your love, okay. Take on me. Party hard. Take
That's for you, Brody. It's for you.
I can't wait.
Party Horn Friday.
Party Horn Friday, guys. It's gonna happen for sure, and here's why.
Didn't it just happen?
You were sick on Wednesday, and guess what?
What?
It was Wednesday.
Guys, guess what?
Okay.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Brody! Quit telling us how to run the show.
Just saying.
Yeah, you know what? You
Chip
can tell
keeps
us.
talking about wanting to hire a producer.
Oh, yes.
So
We got one,
my
Chip.
household could use some
Chippers, we got the perfect producer.
income. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He can pick out all my prep. I'm cool with that. 505-585-LIVE. You guys can call the live line, or you can text into the show, be a part of it. We know a lot of you out there are shy and you don't like to call, but proud of the Starmy. They've been doing great on calling in this year. So keep it up, guys. Phone lines are open right now, 505-338-3700.
You know, maybe you've never called before and you're like, it's kind of scary, you're kind of nervous. That's how my 5-year-old was, bro. We couldn't get him to say like 3 words to us.
Yeah, now we've
and
created
now
a
we
monster.
can't get him to stop calling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
TMI!
Next message.
You can run.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
Next message.
TMI.
Yeah!
TMI.
Who is it?
It's Dex and Steve-O. TMI.
Deleted.
Okay. If we could make sure that's deleted.
Okay.
Guys, I want to share a story before we go to break. This is an incredible story about a man who is at the end of his life. He's 88 years old. He's probably days away from death.
Oh my gosh!
He could be. He's 88.
Gosh! 88's when you like hit that moment where you go so fast through life that you go back in time.
Age is just a number, guys, really. Think about it. It's all about the attitude.
Okay.
Let me tell you what.
The attitude of gratitude?
Yeah, man. There's an 88-year-old guy near London named John Nixon. He recently saw a woman being robbed on the street by 5 guys who wanted her purse.
Okay.
Apparently these guys, these criminals, these thugs, they were young. Teens or early 20s is what they suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So, this 88-year-old guy yelled at them to leave her alone.
Get off my lawn!
Which got their attention. And they said, you know what? How about we take your money instead? What they didn't know was that John fought in Korea.
Oh, no.
Trained as a commando. And did intelligence gathering in Germany, Egypt, and the Middle East. Remember, he's 88 years old. 5 guys, 5 thugs coming at him.
Oh my gosh, he's 88 years old.
John says his training kicked in and he decided to take on all 5 of them.
Yeah! Woo! I love this dude! Oh
when they tried to take his money, he karate chopped one in the neck, which knocked the guy down and left him in a, quote, semi-conscious state.
This is my hero, dude. Forget John Wick. It's all about John Nixon, bro.
Right? Apparently that scared the other 4 off. But one of them pulled out a pocket knife, though, and slashed John's hand before he ran away. Coward.
What a coward.
Right? Then ran. He also suffered a small cut to his forehead, but the woman kept her purse, and the cops applauded John for his, quote, extraordinary bravery. John says, man, young guys like that always act brave, but probably didn't expect someone his age to fight back. Adding that, quote, fear is not in his dictionary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah! Get him, John!
That is my favorite story.
88 years old. You just never know.
Young.
Yeah! He was a commando. Fought in Korea.
Dude, we named our radio station after his age. Because he's so cool. Forget Star 88. We're going to be called John Nixon 88. Because that guy is my hero.
He karate chopped the guy in the neck.
Hi-ya. Gosh.
Hi-ya.
He took on 5 dudes.
He did. There goes John. What was that? Oh, wow. That was part of the song. That's pretty cool.
That was the dude that got karate chopped in the neck. He's seeing stars. Yeah.
I like this. Enter the Dragon, guys.
Gosh, can we just watch Enter the Dragon now?
Woo!
No, No, yours was. No. Yours is trending racist.
Here's Steve up. Choking on his own blood.
It just goes to show, man, when you got that in your blood, you never stop being a hero.
I'll never forget, I heard a great story about my Grandpa Toth. He had to go pick up some money from a guy, and he shows up and knocks on the door. Guy opens the door. My grandpa said, "Hey, I'm here to collect the money."
Oh, snap.
And the guy said, No, you're not." "Yes, I am." The guy tried to shut the door. My grandpa put his foot to stop it. Guy opens the door, took a swing at my grandpa. He dodged it, uppercutted him right in the gut, and then BAM! Went right to the chin.
Yes!
Knocked the guy out.
I just want to watch karate movies now.
It's the kind of blood that's running through my veins. It's called the Hungarian blood.
I've never seen you fight before.
Hiya, hiya, ha!
Bruce Lee was a staple in our household, man. Scotty and I watched so many crazy kung fu movies when we were kids.
Those are fun. Yeah, those are still fun. They still hold up.
I love how everyone is screaming, "Finish him!" on our Facebook page.
Fatality! Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Oh, hello. How are you?
So good.
So I wanted to play a little game here of Mad Libs. Could you help me fill out a couple of words?
Yeah, man.
Okay, the letter is M. Could you think of an M word, please?
An M word?
M as in Mike?
No, that's not a name. That's a pronoun. That's like we don't want to. Yeah, as in
M as in
marsupial.
Oh, you said N as in Nancy. That's what I was trying to figure out.
M as in Mancy.
Oh, Mancy.
Marsupial.
Okay, now I.
This isn't Mad Libs.
Yeah, what is this? Steve-O and Mitch and the what was your name?
Yeah. Steve-O and
I was
Mitch
going to
in the
let
morning.
the creative juices flow, and whatever words you came up with, I was going to make a song out of for the morning invasion.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. All right.
Instigate.
Ooh.
Instigate. Okay. Now T.
I don't know. This is your field. You go for it.
Transmorphic.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, let's get it going. T is for the transformic songs they play. M is for the marsupial that lives in the studio. I is for the, what was I?
Instigate.
Instigation.
Interrogate.
Oh, man, I don't know. This
Wow,
totally took a dive bomb. Sorry, guys.
You know what? I appreciate that he just stopped, and he knew it, and he just hung up. I love that. I will respect you if that's how you handle those situations.
If you're gonna call, have something good, man. More confident, the better.
This is what we're looking for, guys.
Next message.
TMI.
Woo!
TMI. It's Dex and Steve-O. TMI.
Deleted.
We've been taking phone calls all week from Starmy members, chiming in on their love for the show, for the station, and creating new promos out of them, which has been a lot of
we've
fun.
had some good ones.
You can leave us a voicemail if you'd like, 505. Oh! 585 Live. That's 585-5483.
Good morning.
Hi.
Who's this?
Brody Parker!
Brody?
How you doing?
Hi.
How you doing,
Hi,
bud?
buddy.
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
It is Friday, my dude.
Yeah.
It sure
I
is.
know.
Can you say that? Can
I
you say it's
know.
Friday, my dudes?
And it's also Power Ranger Party on Friday.
It sure is.
Oh, so good. Are you excited for Power Ranger Party Horn Friday?
Yeah.
What? Okay. What are you teaching us today about the Power Rangers?
About an asteroid part.
The S word part?
Yes.
What is?
It's a Power Ranger video.
Oh, okay. What are you watching?
Yeah, right?
Nothing. I'm in the car.
No, but I mean,
It's pretty literal. It's in the car, bro.
okay, tell us about this video. Keep your hand on that dump.
The bad guys were like an asteroid bad guy, and he was destroying asteroids at a real dinosaurs, and then he was still attacking with his asteroids. Then he was throwing an asteroid with a bomb. And then he was trying to blow up the Megazord.
The Megazord?
The Megazord. What's a Megazord?
It's the Power Rangers thing that they climb on.
It's the Power Ranger thing that they climb on?
So, call them.
Oh, they call them.
Oh.
But what is it? Okay. I don't watch Power Rangers. I don't know what a Megazord is. What's a Megazord,
You're a
Bubba?
Megazord.
Oh, okay.
It's a robot that actually is a dinosaur, and it helps you attack the giant bad guys.
Oh, so
That's
like
cool.
if you find yourself in trouble, like John Nixon, and he sees a woman in trouble, he could just call on the Megazord, and the Megazord will help.
Yeah, because if he uses the magma beam sludge, it turns the bad guys into like 100 huge, and then you have to call the Megazord, and if they can't defeat it, they do the Dino in Charge Megazord.
Wow.
Oh, but here's the question, Brody, because we don't have a Megazord lying around the house. Who do you call on in times of trouble?
The T-Rex sword.
Yeah.
Failed.
You missed that one.
Failed.
Yeah.
The T-Rex sword, huh?
The T-Rex sword?
I guess we have a T-Rex sword just lying around the house.
What if you didn't have a T-Rex
that
sword?
helps him in times of trouble.
Brody, what if the T-Rex sword wasn't
Like
there? Who would you
times when
call
you used
upon?
to be afraid of the dark, or times where you felt
who would-
sad,
who
or
would you
times
call
where you were
upon,
in trouble?
Brody?
Who are you gonna call?
Well, they don't actually need to call something.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Tyler the Red Ranger, he was asleep in his cave at our dad.
Oh, you okay, buddy?
Yeah. And then if it was too dark, he has the hats that have lights on them.
What if you had nobody to call, but you had to call on
Not
somebody?
a Power Ranger. You, Brody. Who would you call?
If you needed help.
Who you call when you need help?
Like Miss Morgan, and he'll give you
Miss Morgan.
Dino Chargers to, like, help you see in the dark or something.
Ah, perfect.
What are you teaching your kid, man?
Okay, you know what? That's his teacher, and he can depend upon his teacher, you jerk.
What if Mrs. Morgan wasn't there?
Okay, Mrs. Morgan's going to be there, bro. She's around. She's going to be there.
No, Mrs. Morgan is a Power Ranger.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, Dad. Yeah.
It's actually in the Power Rangers video. It's not
Yeah.
real.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's not real.
It's not real.
Duh. Yes.
I knew that. What if you were all alone? Nobody else was around, and you needed help. Who would you call?
Your team and Miss Morgan to give
Miss
you,
Morgan's
like,
not around. Miss Morgan's gone. You're
I thought
alone.
you just said Miss Morgan's not real. In real life, Brody, in real life, who do you call on?
Who do you?
Nobody. Because they can see in the dark.
Because he can see in the dark. See, he's not afraid of the dark anymore.
Yeah.
He used to be afraid of the dark, and then something changed. What changed? Why aren't you afraid of the dark?
It's because the light is on.
The light is on. Of course, the light
The
is.
Paw Patrol light.
He's got a Paw Patrol light.
He calls on the Paw Patrol light. I failed.
Wow,
I
you failed.
I'm just going to leave.
You and Chrissy failed. Failed. God, Brody. God. Okay? You call upon God.
Yeah. Well, are you yelling at my 5-year-old? I will murder you.
Guess what?
With chicken butt. What?
If there was no Paw Patrol light, then I would still be awake and then I could see.
That's true. Did you know that Brody can see in the dark?
Really?
That's what I've heard.
But if you were scared in the dark without your Paw Patrol light, who would you call upon?
God.
Never surrender!
Yeah!
That was the correct answer, buddy. That was the correct answer. It only took us, orators of life, 27
One
minutes
eternity
to
later.
figure out how to relay the story to where we weren't talking Power Rangers, but real life. That's good. So back to Power Rangers. Who's Miss Morgan?
She's a pink, purple Power Ranger and Miss Morgan who helps them get new Dino Chargers.
Oh, the Dino Chargers, of course.
Kendall Morgan.
Kendall
Duh.
Morgan, of course. Kendall,
Gosh.
she's the Purple Ranger. Gosh, how could I not know? Played by Claire. Hi.
Her name is not Kendall Miss Morgan. It's just Miss Morgan.
Okay, but
Kendall is the pink one.
Yeah, I know, but her first name is Kendall.
So Kendall Morgan.
Yeah.
But he doesn't call grown-ups by first names. He's calling her Miss Morgan
And I'm
because
okay
her
with
last
that.
name is Morgan.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Stop it.
Do you want her to be your girlfriend?
No, what are you teaching? Hey, do you want me to punch Dex right now? Because I will. I'll punch him hard for you, bro.
Yes.
Okay, good. Come on! Ah! Right in the
Gosh.
chest. That actually wasn't very kind of me, Brody. I apologize that you saw that.
You don't hit.
I know, you never hit.
Can I hit him back, Brody?
Yes, you can hit
I laid you out.
That was pretty great. That was good. But we're friends, so it's cool.
Brody,
I hit a bat.
you're failing today. I'm sorry. I'm calling you
failing.
out.
He's not
calling
failing.
you
He's doing
out.
a really
You
good job.
never hit back. If somebody punches you, you don't fight back.
Okay. It depends on the situation. Like where
I said for you to hit a bat.
Take a bath?
Like a baseball bat.
Oh, you wanted me to take a baseball bat to your dad?
No, hit a baseball bat with your leg.
with the leg, obviously. You hit him in the leg with the baseball bat.
You sweep the leg with the baseball bat.
You should hang up a baseball bat and then you should kick it right in the handle.
Yeah.
You know what? No more Power Rangers for you. You're done. We're cutting off Power Rangers. Uncle Dex says it's done.
No. Oh, man. I love it. Are you excited because it's Friday, buddy?
Yeah.
All right.
All
Power
right, buddy.
Ranger Party Horn Friday. Thanks
All
for
right.
calling in and giving us all of the updates on Power Rangers. Anything else you want to tell us real quick before you go?
Yeah.
Cool. What?
I actually have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff?
Yeah, 'cause I'm not at school yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's not at
he doesn't go to
school.
school
He's
till like
gotta-
8:20.
He's got to talk to us until he goes to
No,
class.
man. You need to,
So-
here's what you do. You hang up and then turn the radio up because I'm going to do some party horn for you.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Hey, I love you, buddy. Have fun at school today, okay?
No, I don't.
Oh.
No, I'm not at school yet. I can still talk.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, no, Dex, he can still talk, bro.
Brody, we know you can still talk,
No, he can still talk. Go ahead. Tell Dex a story.
but I want you to hear. Here's the thing, Brody. I want you to hear the Party Horn Friday, and if you're on the phone with us, you can't hear Party Horn Friday.
That's so true. That's so true.
So you have to hang up if you want to hear Party Horn Friday.
No, how about you just do it on the phone?
But you can't hear it if you're on the phone.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. I'm playing it right now, and you can't even hear it.
He's not playing. Yo.
Can you hear that, Brody? Can you hear it?
There's a duck on the road.
What?
At school.
Oh, okay. There you go. Tell us the story you so incessantly want to tell Dex. Go ahead.
Can we take the duck home?
The duck?
Home.
You want to take a duck home?
Yes.
Where did you get
Because Mama just said to bring a duck home.
Where did we get a duck? Oh, I
don't know.
I know, but is there a duck in the car?
No.
What? No, wait, what are you talking to me like I'm dumb? Like you're the ones trying to bring a duck home. Where did the duck come from?
Duck. I think it's on the street.
Oh,
there's
and
a
Mama
duck on the
saw
street.
it and wants to take it home?
Yes.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, you can have the duck.
Did you shut up, Dex?
Go ahead.
No, Brody.
Take the duck.
Tell your mother that we don't need a duck, okay?
Yeah, but it needs a home.
No, not our home though. Brody, tell mom we don't need a duck.
It can live in your backyard.
What?
Okay.
No, but tell her now. Tell her right now. She
Tell her
needs
to
to
pull
know we
over
don't
and get
need a
the
duck.
duck.
No, do not get the duck.
She loves ducks.
She does. Chrissy
She
loves
wants to take it home.
Okay,
Yep.
but we
It's
don't.
fine, Chrissy. Take the duck home.
Okay, but do you think we need a duck, Brody? Really?
Yes.
Where's a duck?
No. The duck is on the street.
Okay.
He's going to get hit by a car if you don't get the duck.
Okay, but where are we going to keep the duck?
In the bathtub.
No.
He will live in the bathtub.
You're not supposed to help him because of no. Brody,
This is your fault.
Where's the duck going to sleep?
I am literally at Papa's house.
Oh, God, okay.
I'm widowy at Papa's house.
Okay. Hey, literal man. Where are we going to keep a duck?
In a house in a cage.
Duh.
Oh, okay. But where's it going to Where's the cage going to go?
Don't keep the duck around Rocket.
Right.
It will kill the duck.
Right.
Yeah.
Our dog will kill the duck.
Yeah.
This is wisdom
That's a
right
tasty
here.
snack.
This is very smart, 5-year-old. Listen, tell your mother we don't need a duck, okay? If anybody wants a duck...
I want a duck.
You want a duck?
Yeah. What, you don't want to give Brody what he wants?
Okay.
Clearly, Brody runs things at the Jeter household.
Why would we have...
Well, you know, if I wasn't right at you guys' place, I have a shotgun.
Wait a second.
I have a toy one.
Okay.
A toy.
Steve-O!
Only if I found the bullet and metal and tools that I can make a real shotgun.
A real shotgun? You could make a real shotgun out of all of your toys at home? No. I hope the FBI is listening right now.
Well, if I saw the FBI, I would be in the car, and then when they left, and then they got up, I would shoot them in the headshot on the middle.
My gosh. Steve-O Jeter. Stephen Michael Jeter.
You know I still have my toy shotgun in my pocket.
You have a shotgun in your pocket?
Yes!
What is happening?
Shotgun in my pocket. I'm in my car.
You're driving?
Nobody even knows.
Are you driving right now?
No.
Oh.
We're going over.
Where you going over where?
School. And then after that, we can still talk.
Gosh. I hope people don't hear this and think this is the situation that Dex and Steve-O have been talking about. When things don't seem right, maybe I should contact the authorities. Because I'm getting that feeling in my gut. Like, I think Brody stole the minivan and he's got a toy shotgun.
You know,
what?
Papa has 3 dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just stay on the
one
line.
named Sadie, one named Claude, one named Dottie, one named Sadie.
Okay. Yeah, you just
Well, the
don't
two
hang up, all
that
right?
the two that is named Sadie and Dottie, those two baby dogs.
Yeah, Thebes. Chrissy's not dying of laughter because Brody stole the car.
Oh, man. I can't.
I say I'm walking to school and then I'm not, like...
Wait,
you're walking to school?
Wait, you're taking your shotgun? You're taking your shotgun to school?
Of course not. I'm going to leave it in Mama's office.
Of course not.
That was a different person.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That was a different person.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
All right, Bubba. Well, we have to let you go before you're incriminated further.
I can still get a talk.
No, it's fine, man. It's fine. We're just trying to track your location right now.
No, yeah, we can
We're
totally
trying to
let
track
you
your
go.
location. I got the police on the line. Huh?
Yes, I can still talk.
I know. I don't want you to leave. Steve-O wants you to leave. I mean, your dad wants you to leave.
I don't want you to leave. I just think you need to be safe, and maybe if the authorities are listening, we need to stop this. We need to stop recording this. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up and then I'll get you on the. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll still be talking.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, have a great day at school, buddy. I love you.
I gotta go to class.
Okay. Well,
at least we know he's there.
Have a good day. Make sure you put the shotgun in Mom's office.
Am.
Okay.
Already am.
Oh, you already am. Okay.
I'm
Gosh.
actually putting it in my papa's pocket.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Well, there you go.
That's a little
He has a
shotgun.
jacket.
Okay, that's
Oh,
good.
your
Yeah,
trench coat?
You want to hide it in the jacket.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, Brody.
Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Guys, I'm staring at Steve-O right now. Just waiting to hear how he's going to respond to that. That's real funny. Your son wants to murder a duck.
He doesn't want to murder a duck. He
Oh,
wants to take the duck home.
Yeah.
He loves the duck. Gosh.
Pretty sure he might have stolen the minivan. And he's got a shotgun that's a toy, but he has enough toys to make a real shotgun.
Gosh. I don't know what had happened in there. Chrissy was texting me during that time. She wasn't even monitoring anything because she was really chasing a duck.
She was trying to get a duck?
She was trying to catch a duck. What is life?
You guys need money for dinner, man? I mean, I got a few extra bucks. Man.
Meanwhile, you're a duck.
Who's this?
Nola.
Hi.
Nola?
You're a duck.
We're a duck. You're a duck.
You're a duck.
Okay. What did this turn into? Mr. Rogers?
Okay. Whoa. Hey, it's Sesame Street. Oh, clearly. Hi.
Where's your parents?
We're driving to the school to pick and drop her off at school.
Perfect.
All right. We're number one with children right now because of Brody. Thank you. Hang up on yourself, kid.
Okay.
Hang up on yourself.
No. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, if we get a report that Brody's school's on lockdown, we know why. Good morning.
Yes, I need to speak to a Stephen Jeter, please.
Yes, go ahead. Stephen Jeter, he's on the line. Go ahead.
This is Agent Smith from ATF.
Oh, no.
I need to have a talk about firearms at schools with underage children.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're going to have to consult the principal. She keeps everything locked away in her office, apparently. So.
What information do you need, sir? I've got all of it.
I just want to know, where did you learn to shoot FBI agents in the head?
Yeah! Yeah. What the heck?
I can understand shooting the duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that took a turn.
Yeah, you need to stop allowing him to watch Power Rangers. What the heck? Power Rangers don't kill people, do they?
What kind of video games do you play?
He doesn't even play video games. He plays Mario Kart and Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, when you're not there, he's playing other things.
Yeah, Lego Superheroes 2 or something like that.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't have any violent video games.
Headshots?
Listen, this
Sounds
isn't
like
the
a Call of Duty
GOP. We can't blame video games for everything, okay?
Yeah, well.
Gosh, guys.
That's why I called the parents.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, we got another call here. I believe it's CYFD.
Okay.
Good morning. Hello.
Is this Mr. Rogers?
This is Mr. Rogers. How can we help you?
I'm bored by you guys talking about, like, as the duck.
You know what? Get out of here, kid.
Oh, my gosh.
Hang up
It's
on
a
yourself.
child. Thank you so much for calling.
Look at what you've done. Brody, look at what you've done.
Felicia says he went from Duck Hunt to Grand Theft Auto real fast.
Yeah. 0 to 100. Real quick. That's Brody Parker.
He talked about headshots, sweeping the leg.
Shotguns. Baseball bats to the leg.
However, we also learned that he will call upon the Lord in time of need.
Okay, well, I don't know. I mean, how long did it take him to answer that one?
Oh, man.
10 minutes.
Chrissy sent me the weapon in question, so in case anybody wants to know, that's his quote shotgun. Okay, there you go on Facebook and the old Instagram.
Yeah,
there you go.
That wouldn't be too hard to make that into a real gun.
It's a Nerf Batman grappling gun.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he call it a shotgun? It's a Batman grappling gun.
Unbelievable.
My head hurts from laughing.
I'm not laughing. It's not a laughing matter. This is the kind of situations that we've been telling you guys about.
Okay.
If something seems a little off, you need to report it.
Oh, man.
Principal's office, good morning.
Good morning. My son wanted to call and talk to you guys.
Oh, geez.
Say something, Xavier.
Sup, guys?
Sup, Xavier? Can we call you X?
Yeah, sure.
Word. Okay. Are you cooking in a wok? Some stir-fry action?
Say, every morning we listen to you guys.
That's cool.
That is awesome.
Are you playing with Legos?
No, he's clearly stir-frying noodles in a wok.
That's gonna look
Who's older?
Who's
That's
older?
for Steve-O.
Who do you
Yeah,
think? Who do you
that's
think
for
is older?
Steve-O.
Who do you think's older?
Sex.
Of course.
No, that's not true,
It's
kid.
because he's balding and he's got a beard.
That's a lie. I'm not balding.
I'm clearly very young.
And Steve-O's the older one.
Uh-huh.
By almost 2 years.
Little known fact, he's actually telling the truth because it's never okay to lie. I am the older one.
You know what, Dad? Hang up on yourself.
What? No. Thank you, X, for calling, bro.
Unbelievable. This is... I got to go to break, guys, because I have got to make some phone calls.
we want to play Rugrats.
I got to make some phone
Oh,
calls.
hey.
Unreal.
Can I do Elmo?
Hi, everybody. It's Elmo.
No.
Welcome to Sesame Street.
We've turned into that show.
Call in right now at 505-330-3700. Okay.
Thank you, Elmo.
You're welcome.
Real quick before we go to break, just a reminder, there's a special memorial broadcast to Billy Graham. It's happening right here on Star 88 at 10 a.m. with the special encore broadcast this Sunday, March 4th on Gospel Brunch at 8 a.m.
I have an incredible story behind the casket for Billy Graham. And
yeah, you don't want to miss this story when we come back. We're live from the Dreamstar Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Kids, go to school!
A Star 88 Supernova with Greg Laurie.
You know what won me over to Christ before I heard a message? It was the love that the Christians had for each other. I looked at it, I watched them, I thought, is this for real? Or are they making this up? These people really love each other? Because I was used to, I was just a kid when I came to Christ. I was used to hanging around with people that I like. So certain kids hang around certain kids, and certain people hang around certain people. And I saw Christians who, from every kind of background imaginable, and they had something in common. And I think that's one of the reasons the devil wants to divide us. And we should seek to live in unity, to love one another as Christ has loved us. I'm not calling for unity at any cost, because the most important thing is truth. But sometimes Christians divide over the stupidest things.
Catch Greg Laurie's teaching show, A New Beginning, on our sister station, KNKT, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. on 107.1 FM.
February 21st of 2018 must have been a date circled in red on heaven's calendar, because that was the day Billy Graham was ushered into his reward for being a faithful servant of Jesus Christ.
I don't claim to be going to heaven today because I have preached or because I'm a good man. I claim to be going to heaven only on the merit and the ground of Jesus.
Just As He Is, a tribute to Billy Graham, is hosted by Skip Heitzig and features interviews with the Graham family, Dr. James Dobson, Toby Mack, Kurt Warner, and many more who have been impacted by the amazing life of Billy Graham.
And every time you see a cross, it should remind you of what you mean to God. Jesus not only died for all, He died for each.
Listen to Just As He Is, a tribute to Billy Graham on this station.
Sunday, March 4th at 10 a.m. and March 11th at 8 a.m. on Star 88.
Loyalty and love. Without them, no relationship can deepen and survive.
Love and trust. Love and trust. Those are the two ingredients essential for any personal relationship. If you violate love, the relationship disintegrates. If you violate trust, the relationship disintegrates.
Hotspot. Relating to God is not based on fear. Quite the opposite, as Skip points out.
This relationship with God is based on love, based on trust. And this relationship is a relationship that is deeply satisfying beyond words.
Find Skip's full teaching library through the Bible at connectwithskip.com. Finally, here's a sign from Jesus that points to real love.
You say you love the Lord. How do you know you love Him? What's the proof that you would love Him? Obey His commands. That's exactly what Jesus said.
Love is a choice, and that decision is the heartbeat of Christian faith.
The essence of Christian joy is when you choose to love Jesus and you choose to trust Him.
Hotspot. This is KLYT, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, New Mexico's fresh alternative. Star 88.
Diamonds in the rough, they don't know who we are. So where we go, where we go, where we go, I don't know. I feel my future in my mind. I've been betrayed by a kiss. Oh no.
Morning Invasion with Dex and Stevo. Sorry, 8.3. That one's for you, Dex.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday. It's actually Party Horn Friday, my dudes. Featuring the Swan. The Swan's here, everybody.
Party Horn
The
Friday.
Swan.
What are you doing, man?
I'm trying to get a splinter out of my finger from touching the wood over here of what you guys
Isn't that
destroyed.
the worst when you get those little splinters?
I was just admiring those Instagram pictures and videos that you guys posted. I was like, I wish I was there.
You should have seen Daniel freak out in the studio because he's super OCD.
Oh, yeah.
So he comes in and he goes, What am I supposed to do with this? And he didn't know what to do. And it's wood that's chopped up. I don't know what to do.
It was Daniel's idea to bring it. It was totally his idea. We should take those.
It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
That looked like so much fun.
Yeah.
It was throwing some axes.
Like this big.
Yeah.
And you should definitely try it, Sam.
And the smell of the pine when you walk into the studio.
Do you smell the pine?
I smell the pine.
Really?
From the freshly chopped wood.
No, that's the pine saw that I sprayed earlier.
Okay, I did.
In the studio now.
It smells like I'm in a child care center.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it smells like real pine wood. It smells good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go find a cologne like that.
Thebes welcomes you to the show, but says you have a tough act to follow, my friend.
I know.
So,
I was thinking that the whole way in. I was like, I might as well just turn around. Nobody can follow Brody.
No, that was the funniest
and his spurt of
weirdest.
violence.
I have no idea.
Possibly dangerous phone call ever.
By the way, I want to apologize to the red Miata that I swerved in front of when he said headshot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this radio station, that was me. I'm sorry.
On ATF agents.
But when you're listening to a 5-year-old talk about a headshot, it went from ducks to...
He's never played a violent
I
video
know. I
before.
think that's
I'm
funny.
like,
sure.
He
must
really
have.
hasn't.
It's all those episodes of Walking Dead you let him watch.
Yeah,
That's, you know what?
call.
That's true. That's true. Well, that's the only way to take Walker out.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. It's not true, guys. Don't listen. Don't listen.
Yeah. So I'm just going to sit over here quietly and add funny noises and comments every once in a while.
All good.
Thanks, Steve, for welcoming me.
Well, let's talk about Billy Graham because Steve found this pretty cool story about the coffin that they buried Billy Graham in this morning.
I'm very intrigued. I heard about the coffin. I didn't hear the story behind it. Although I sort of kind of figured why it would be that way because of who Billy Graham is and all of that. So I'm really looking forward to hearing this.
So Natasha sent this to us, a member of the Starmy. Emailed this to us and said, you guys got to check out this story. And sure enough, I was reading it this morning like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But if you noticed, Billy Graham's body was, it's hard to talk about this because it's like, that's not Billy Graham. That is his mortal coil.
Right.
Billy Graham is in paradise. Like he is truly with the Lord, living better than he's ever lived. So I'm like, what is the proper way to say this? So... the casket that houses his mortal coil, if you will.
Or you could just say his body.
His shell.
I like mortal coil. It just
His
sounds,
shell.
That actually does sound better.
His shell, mortal coil. When I shed this mortal coil.
Mortal Coil sounds like a new Marvel superhero.
You like that?
Yeah, he's a nerd.
So there you go. Anyways,
That's nerd talk.
he was in Washington, D.C., which was an honor that very few average, if you will, Americans.
It's like only the 5th time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So... It's a very prestigious.
It's a big deal.
It's super honoring, and it just lends to the legacy that is Billy Graham.
Right.
However, when you look at the casket, it's not.
Nothing
It's not
fancy
like-
about it?
It's not like made of gold. You know what I mean?
See, when you pulled up the article, I was looking for a picture of it, and I thought, I even mentioned, I'm like, is it see-through? I thought it would be like this beautiful
oh, right,
coffin.
right, like where the old popes are
Yeah,
or something,
right.
and they can like look at him.
Yeah.
Like weird. No, it's pretty modest actually. And then the story came out about the casket that Billy Graham is in, and I was like, this is incredible. Like how people who love the Lord, you can see their craftsmanship, you can see the handiwork of God in their lives, and not just Billy Graham, but the people surrounding this story. It's unbelievable. So the casket was built inside a small prison woodworking shop, which is tucked away from the main area of America's largest maximum security penitentiary. The three dudes that were inmates who handcrafted the casket were sentenced to life for murder or armed robbery. Two of them were sentenced for murder. One of them sentenced for armed robbery.
So three of these prisoners are the ones who made this coffin.
They made it. In fact, engraved or just carved in the side of the casket, it says handcrafted by Richard Liggett, Paul Krolowitz, and Clifford Bowman.
Wow.
These are the three men. And Liggett and Bowman were sentenced to life for murder. Krolowitz is serving more than 30 years for armed robbery. This prison used to be called Louisiana State Penitentiary, but everyone calls it Angola because it's built on land that was a slave plantation, which was home to thousands of people who were forcibly taken from Angola, their birth country in Africa.
Okay.
So the history behind this prison is already pretty interesting. Angola, it's an 18,000-acre footprint in the lower Mississippi Delta, houses men who have committed the most violent crimes. This is like a place for the worst of the worst of the worst. This is where the very, very bad people go, most of them to die, because
they never get out.
No. Most of the 5,600 inmates will die behind bars at this penitentiary, either serving a life sentence or by execution. In a lot of cases, the inmates' families just don't have the resources. They can't, whether they just can't afford to have the remains shipped or they can't pay for the funeral, whatever it is. Angola just started burying their prisoners inside these cardboard boxes, basically, at the state penitentiary.
Wow.
Because it's like, well, these guys have no family, essentially.
Yeah.
They're murderers. They're rapists. They're going to die in here. Let's set up a place to at least bury them here. But because they're kind of the worst of the worst and kind of scum, if you will, quote unquote, their words, they don't get a whole lot.
Yeah.
So they're in these little wooden crate things, but no thicker than cardboard. Really flimsy. Well, in the 90s, 1995, they got a new warden who himself loves Jesus Christ and saw what was happening with these human beings who made the worst mistakes of their life, who were the worst of the worst, if you will, but still believed that God loved them and had a plan and a purpose for them, and they weren't beyond redemption, so he decided to change everything. He decided to do a moral rehabilitation program in this prison that called for inmates to work unless they were physically unable to, and, which is really interesting, he forced them to practice spirituality or a religion. He didn't say Christianity. He didn't force he didn't force a specific religion on them, but they're forced to seek a higher power, some sort of philosophy within that, and to discover for themselves something sacred, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
That's a whole other story in and of itself.
Yeah.
But in 1995, when he was hired, this is what he said. He himself says, I choose Jesus, but being a state-run facility, we must welcome all religions. So we can't force Christianity upon anybody, but we do force them to practice some form of spirituality or religion, which is interesting that they can do that.
Yeah.
So then after that, steeples, interfaith chapels went up. Some inmates became Christian, and not just Christians, but Christian music DJs.
Wow.
At Angola's radio station.
No way.
Where they have a Christian radio station now.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
when
cool.
we get busted, I got our job for the rest of our lives.
I think after this morning, you're the only one that's getting busted.
Yeah. Others attended seminary. Like all of a sudden, this reform came in, and it was all in the form of working hard and practicing spirituality. They started a hospice end-of-life program for inmates to care for the aging and dying among them because they wanted to care for these human beings.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that had never been updated was what they do with the body when a prisoner dies, whether by execution or just end of life. And they had burial ceremonies with these basically cardboard boxes. And I guess during one of the burials when Warden Kane, who is the new guy that came in 95, he was standing at the foot of a prisoner's grave, and he said he watched his inmates begin to lower the coffin in the ground, but the box was so flimsy that it fell apart in the inmate's arms. And he said, I remember Gary Young, the assistant warden, who had worked at the prison for nearly 30 years, his body just crumbled and fell into the hole in front of all these people. And they realized that that was the most undignified thing that they could believe. He said that prisoners who died there paid their debt to society and deserved a dignified funeral service and proper burial. So the warden started a casket building program at the prison and turned to an inmate known as Grasshopper to design a reliable casket. So I guess this dude, Richard Lee Grasshopper Liggett, is the oldest of 4 children. He grew up in Kansas. He got in trouble quite a bit, but within the prison, he lived a quiet life. Before his time in prison, he wasn't a Christian. He wasn't a religious person at all. He said God or religion just wasn't his thing. But when he turned 17, he joined the army. He left Kansas. That same year, sadly, he learned that his brother was charged with murder and kidnapping. I guess in 1971, Richard and another man were planning to rob a family late one Friday night, and according to a news story, they arrived at the family's farm, and these 2 dudes killed a man, held 5 members of the family hostage while trying to hide the other man's body. They were convicted and sentenced to life in prison, and he served the first 3 years of his sentence at this correctional facility and then was transferred to Angola.
Okay.
So then he learned carpentry. He learned leatherworking because he was there for life. So he just started studying these things. And that's how he picked up the name Grasshopper. He was so skinny he could hide in the grass. He also became a master carpenter. So it was like this dual, nickname for him. And so for him, when he was tasked with this, building a casket took him about 3 days. And so in 2005, he starts this, the warden starts this program, and this dude just starts crafting caskets because he had this incredible gift.
Yeah.
Well, that same year in 2005, Franklin Graham goes to visit Angola.
Okay.
And sees the program, sees what this new warden has done, sees the reform just through hard work and faith.
Give these people purpose.
Gave him purpose, and then the Graham Foundation said, man, you guys are doing something incredible here, and they donated more than $200,000 to the prison specifically to build a chapel and to support the ministry in the Angola prison, right? So he started opening the prison to,
hang on a second.
Preachers.
This is worth a comment here.
Yeah, man.
A ministry that usually asks for money gave money.
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody's paying attention.
Cool.
Okay.
So I guess after that, the warden started opening the prison gates to preachers like Franklin Graham and others. And so they began to go to this prison and speak into the lives of these inmates. I guess in the early 2000s, the prison tried to host Billy Graham, but the evangelist was unable to make the trip because of his health. So his son Franklin visited, his daughter Ruth visited. Franklin took a tour of the woodworking shop in 2005, where he was moved by the dignity of the caskets and the story and the care that the inmates took to build these caskets. And so he said, "Can you make a casket for my mother, Ruth Belgram, and my father?" And he asked if they would burn the builders' names into the wood because each man is worthy of their work, and so he wanted their name to be engraved in it. And so
again, these prisoners are the worst of the worst. Killers,
right? 2 murderers,
rapists.
one for armed robbery, two murder. They're in there for life or 30 years, you know. And so in 2007, Ruth Belgram died and was buried in one of the Angola caskets. And so when Billy Graham passed away, immediately they went to this prison.
Wow.
And they handcrafted this casket that you now see, or that you saw in Washington, because his memorial's today, actually. Pastor Skip's out there.
How incredible is that?
Yeah, dude. And you hear the story and the love of God, because this dude who started the program, Grasshopper, I guess in the early 2000s, his health started declining within the prison, and other people had to come in and try and help him with the caskets. And gosh, it's pretty incredible. So he said in his 20s, it started with women, then it went to alcohol, it goes to drugs, all of these crazy things. And he said, "I never really had a relationship with God or Jesus, but after a few years at Angola, I began to soul search and make these changes. And Billy Graham is the pastor who led this man to the Lord, who then in turn handcrafted the casket that Billy Graham is in."
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So you just see, like, he said they showed us the love of God. Speaking of Billy Graham and his family, he said that it was the first time he'd ever heard a message of redemption where nobody was beyond that. Nobody was beyond that redemption. That he was still somehow within the realm of redemption. He said, "They showed me the love of God. Nobody is beyond redemption. I've been redeemed." And it absolutely changed his life.
Wow.
Because he heard this incredible story of a God who still loves him, even after committing murder.
Right.
You know, and it was like, that's something that I think we need to like latch onto, because a lot of times it's like, man, Jesus loves you. Well, but this is a really bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we kind of
Yeah.
put it in our brain. There's like these levels of like, well, this is bad. This is really bad. This is awful. This is untouchable. You're going to burn.
Yeah.
And yet Billy Graham never preached that.
No.
His was a message of love, and that there was a plan and a purpose, no matter who you are, no matter where you were. And I just can't imagine, we're talking about this off air, the great reception in heaven because of the millions of people who came to know the Lord because of him. And I'm sure he always said it till the day he died. Like it wasn't about him, and he never wanted the honor and glory. He did it to serve the King, you know? And so I just thought that story was fascinating.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So, and it was incredible to see what happens when a man of God is given a platform, a ministry, a prison, and works to the glory of God. Like wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, wherever you're listening from, maybe you've got that desk job and you're like, how can I glorify God with this? And you see these men who simply glorify him with their work.
Yeah, it's a great reminder. I mean, of course, Billy Graham, he's been referred to, after he passed away, and there was all kinds of things in the news, and they're calling him America's pastor and the pastor to the presidents, and all of these accolades that I'm not sure. I've never met Billy Graham. I'm not sure that he would have been comfortable with all of those titles that he's been given, but he didn't seek that stuff. That just kind of came because of his faithfulness in sharing the gospel.
Yeah, man.
And it just so happens that he was able to, God was able to use him, and this gigantic ministry was created that went worldwide, that shared the gospel with millions, and millions came to know him. But the greatest testimony that Billy Graham leaves us, or the legacy and the testimony that he gave us, is he was faithful to preach the gospel. He was faithful to tell people that God has a plan for everybody. And that plan is to be in a right relationship with him, and that can only happen when we surrender our lives to Christ. Because of sin, we deserve to pay the penalty for sin, which is death. Jesus came and paid that penalty for us. He died on the cross, and then when he was resurrected 3 days later, that proved that God had power over death and the grave. And because of that resurrection power, because he lives, we can live when we surrender our lives to him. And that nobody is beyond redemption.
Yeah,
nobody is beyond redemption. And Billy Graham was just happened to be famous at doing that. And like Steve-O said, if you're listening somehow to this radio broadcast at work or driving to work or whatever, and we often think, how can I make a difference in the kingdom? Listen, if we are faithful to share the gospel, that makes a difference in the kingdom. And we might not ever see the results of our faithfulness in sharing the gospel, but God has called each one of us as followers of Jesus to testify to the fact that God loves us, that Jesus died for all men, all people. Jesus died for all people, and that if we surrender our lives to him, we can be in relationship with him and be with him forever.
Yeah.
And that's really the greatest legacy that Billy Graham has, besides all the famous stuff and cool stuff that he did, was that he was a faithful witness of the gospel.
Yeah.
That's really, when I look at Billy Graham's life, and he did a crusade in Denver a long time ago, like over 30 years ago. I remember because my daughter Stephanie was a little tiny baby. My dad went with us, not to go to the crusade, but because they also did like a Billy Graham School of Evangelism around the time of the crusade. So I was in classes all day. My wife and I were in classes all day. And my dad came with us just to watch Stephanie while we were in classes. And then we went to the crusade every night. And it was an amazing thing. We just sat way up. As part of the school, we could have been way down close if we got there early and flashed our little name tag, and we could have gone in, we could have helped or whatever, or just been close. But I just wanted to, so I'm sitting, and this is back in the days when it was Mile High Stadium, so I'm way up in the nosebleed sections of Mile High, listening to the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a funny thing, too, that I remember. Maybe if we have time, I'll tell you about that, what Billy Graham did with it. It was hilarious. But share the gospel, offer an invitation, thousands in the 4 nights that I was there came to know Christ because of that.
It's incredible.
It was amazing to be a part of
that. Somebody chimed in and said the seminary I attended would have a group of students go down every other year to Angola, and they always had such powerful stories of what God was doing there. Within this prison.
That's so cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That just shows how powerful God is.
Yeah.
And how he works in the lives of people.
Remember, Starmy said that very thing, that prison is living proof of God's love. If anyone ever needs physical proof that God is love, read them that story.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
One man who just said, you know what, you're still valuable. You're still beloved in the sight of the Lord, no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, no matter what horrific crimes you've committed. And we're going to choose to reform you through love and hard work. I mean, they do have to work hard. Hard work. But I love that it was like, and you're gonna find quote unquote spirituality somehow.
Yeah.
We're gonna build a
and of
chapel.
course the warden is praying that they see the truth.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I think there's that great promise that if you seek God, if you seek Him with your whole heart, you will find Him. That's in the book of Jeremiah 21, and I mean, that's true for all of us. That's a great promise from God. So if you start searching, ultimately you will end up there.
Yeah, when I hear stories like this about prisons and great ministries that are taking place in prisons, and men are, in any kind of prison, people are coming into the Lord, I always think of the thief on the cross.
I was just thinking about
when Jesus really, that was like a last minute deal. I mean, that guy didn't have another chance.
Yeah, today you're going to be in paradise.
So
you
what
will
do
be with me in paradise.
What do you think about that, Baptist? Because he didn't have time to get baptized. I'm just kidding.
Good question, Steve-O.
That's another group that feels that strongly. We just believe baptism is a testimony.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But it gives me an opportunity to explain. It's just a testimony.
It is.
It's a living testimony of the change that has taken place on the inside when God transformed your heart. Dead, and buried, and raised to new life. That's what baptism signifies. It has nothing to do with salvation. It paints the picture. Thank you, Steve-O, for allowing me.
Beautiful, Sam. Beautiful.
Baptist.
I'm sorry.
We're just quizzing you. We're quizzing you.
I just went full Baptist
you
on
had
you right
to.
there.
I loved it, man.
And now let's take up the offering. Will the ushers come
Wait,
forward?
are we going to have the cool felt bags?
No,
that
we don't.
Get to,
we don't do
with
bags,
the
baby.
handles?
We pass offering plates.
Okay,
we don't do.
If anybody
as long
needs,
as the
hey,
bottom is lined with felt.
if anybody needs money, can I take
No,
some?
that's not. This isn't
No.
Life Church. That's how Life Church works. That's different. That's
Although
not how
if
Baptist
I was a pastor, I might do that.
Oh, appreciate it. Can I borrow $20?
That's a cool. Deal.
Mark on
Here, I got
Facebook
20.
Live said the thief.
Oh no, I got to get my haircut. I can't give you my cash.
The thief on the cross asking for forgiveness reminds me that I have hope, and I
Oh,
Heck
man.
yeah, man.
So, there you go.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yep. You're never too
don't-
far gone.
But don't wait.
Yeah,
Today,
exactly.
Today is the day.
Amen.
Today's the day.
Don't just say I'm gonna go crazy and I'm gonna right at the end I'm gonna get saved. It doesn't always work out that way because we do not know the future. And so today, now is the time of salvation.
There you go.
Amen. The Swan is hanging out with us,
Man, I
guys.
got to preach. I like that.
That's good. That's good. That's a good word right there. You guys can chime in, be a part of the show. You can text in 505-585-LIVE. You can also watch us on YouTube. You can go and watch the show. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Star 88 FM.
I just got a crazy story. If you are a fan of 21 Pilots, those dudes just broke history.
Saw that this morning.
Unbelievable. I'll share that on the way back.
They added another pilot. So it's 22 pilots now.
You nailed it, Sam. Hey, just a real quick reminder. Today, we have a memorial broadcast to Billy Graham. It's going to start at 10 a.m. right here on Star 88 with a special encore broadcast this Sunday, March 4th on Gospel Brunch at 8 a.m. But you guys need to Google that, the casket that Billy Graham was buried in. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. We're live from the Dreamstyle Remodeling Star 88 Studios. Hang out.
I'm Heidi, and here's what's happening. Did you catch Sunday's Gospel Brunch? We were live at Copper Point Church. Matt spoke with some of the staff at the church, and we got an exclusive screening of the new CPC Worship EP. If you would like us to visit your church for a Gospel Brunch broadcast, let us know. We love being in our community. Submit your information on our contact page at star88.fm. Do you know about any free events coming up? Maybe something for your community, or maybe a free event happening at your church. I'm sure your church is doing something amazing for Easter. Let us know about it. Send us the details about your next free event, and we'll talk about it on the air and feature it on our events page. All you have to do is send us an email to thewire@star88.fm. That's thewire@star88.fm. For more information about these events and so much more, visit star88.fm. For what's happening, I'm Heidi, and this is Star 88.
A solar flare with Matt Chandler. The universe shudders in horror that we have this infinitely valuable, infinitely deep, infinitely rich, infinitely wise, infinitely loving God. And instead of pursuing Him with steadfast passion and enthralled fury, instead of loving Him with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, instead of attributing to Him glory and honor and praise and power and wisdom and strength, we just try to take His toys and run. It is still idolatry to want God for His benefits, but not for Himself. That's a solar flare on Star 88.
I'll smile, know what it takes to fool this town. I'll do it till the sun goes down, down through the night time. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what you wanna hear. I'll turn my head and shed a tear. It's never the right time. Yeah, I'll put my arm around, show you how strong I am. I'll put my arm around, I'll show you that I am. I'm unstoppable. I'm running
Stephen Furtick makes it come alive in this Star PowerPoint.
When we sign you up to volunteer, we show you the glory, but we hide the grind. You see these beautiful women with the welcome team t-shirts on there? I guarantee you some people on their team didn't show up to serve that were supposed to serve today. Now that happens to you enough Sunday mornings when you put aside your Sunday morning to serve and somebody didn't even have the stuff ready that you needed to serve. After a while you rip your name tag off and you say, well, I love Jesus, but this sucks and I can serve God in my own way. I think I'll serve him on the boat. I have a boat ministry. Jesus did stuff on the boat. I'm gonna go on the boat too. Lake Norman. They had 70 volunteers sign up for Lake Norman to volunteer at Lake Norman this weekend. I'm just going to be upfront with you and tell you what they may not have told you at the campus. It's a grind. It's a grind.
That's a PowerPoint on Star 88.
We are the people that matter. We built it all, we built a wall upon our shoulders. We are the people of the borders. So we boast, show up our hands and eyes. Those so close, how can we live children of comfort. We are the men who hold the confines of the thunder. We took the shining force to reach to submission. We live and breathe the ever human condition. So we boast, show up our hands and eyes. Low, so close, how can we live?
Jeff Flake's not waiting for the president's action. He and 2 Democrats want a law that bans the device, which helps rifles mimic automatic weapons. The NRA says it prefers regulations and not a new law. President Trump says he wants to eliminate bump stocks either way.
U.S. officials say they're not so sure about Russian President Vladimir Putin's claim his country has a nuclear weapon that can't be intercepted. They tell ABC the weapon's still being developed.
Parts of California's Santa Barbara County will be under mandatory evacuation.
Trump comes face-to-face with Attorney General Jeff Sessions for the first time since the president called actions by Sessions disgraceful in a tweet.
I've also spoken with Jeff about bringing a lawsuit against some of these opioid companies.
White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders was asked by ABC News if the president wants to get rid of Sessions. She responded, "Not that I know of."
The head of the Beer Institute says the aluminum tariff will be more like a $344 million tax on the American beverage industry, predicting it could cost thousands of jobs.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Dex, Steve-O, Sam Swan. It's Friday. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook Live. Patrice, Yomi, Mark. Good morning, guys. Star 88 FM on Facebook, and go subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's up and running. We're live on YouTube right now. You guys could share that with everybody. So welcome to the show. If you're brand new, just tuning in. I saw a little conversation going on with somebody that was new to the show.
Yeah, listening from Germany.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sheena.
Sheena?
Afternoon from Germany.
Right on.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. You can text into the show 505-585-LIVE. And don't forget, you guys can call and you can leave voicemails. And the voicemails have been pretty good, but I think we can do better.
Next message.
You can run, but you can't hide. Dex and Steve-O are about to fly. Come on, Stormy, let me hear your battle cry. Oh! The morning invasion. Star 88.
Deleted.
That's a pretty good one.
That was
You know
good.
what? That was good. Not bad.
Next message.
TMI. TMI. It's Dex and Steve-O. TMI.
Deleted.
Okay. Get out of here with that. TMI. So, yeah, you not only can text it in the live line, but you guys can call the live line, 505-585-LIVE, and leave a voicemail whenever you want, whatever you want to say. You want to talk about what the station, what the show's done for you, feel free. You want to be a complete idiot, feel free.
Okay.
Whatever you want. I look forward to hearing them every morning. You had something else you wanted to talk about that you saw? Right?
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff going on, but real quick, we wanted to give congratulations to 21 Pilots. Those guys we've been playing for years, and Josh Dunn, friend of the show, friend of life. He drummed for Waverly for a bit, and then decided, hey, let's do this thing. It's called 21 Pilots. And they reached a milestone that no band in the history of music has ever reached.
Really?
And this is
That's
crazy.
hard to do because a lot of things have been reached.
Their latest album, Blurry Face, we all know it. We all love it. Every single song on that album has been certified gold or platinum.
Every song.
Every single song.
You know what that means? That means they're rich.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That means they're rich.
That means that's next level. I got to hang out with him. When was that? In August, when I was out there for Harvest Crusade in Anaheim. We went out to a show, and dude, he's still the same dude, still just quiet. But of course, we were like hiding in a balcony because
you were talking about how it's different. That's a different level of celebrity.
He had to wear a hood the whole time, and he was with what was her name? Debbie Reynolds, is that her name? The like Disney girl? What was her name? I can't remember her name.
I'll think of it in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
We watched a lot of Disney at our house.
She was on that one show, you know what I mean?
She was on Sweet Life with Zach and Cody.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She was Selena Gomez, Raven.
No, here, I got it right here.
I swear it's Debbie Reynolds. But
Debbie Reynolds.
It's Debbie.
I don't know about that.
It's not Reynolds.
It's not Debbie Reynolds. That's never mind.
Sabrina.
Oh gosh. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Bridget Mendler.
Okay, none of this
Demi
is important.
Lovato.
None of this is
I'll get
important.
it. I'll get it.
Emily
None
Osment.
of this.
Tiffany Thornton.
Debbie Ryan.
Debbie Ryan. You were so close, man.
It's Debbie Ryan.
Yeah. Anyways.
Debbie Ryan.
So they were there, and he had to, more than her even, he had to kind of cover his face, and he had a hoodie on, and he had a beanie kind of like down to his eyebrows, because even in LA, it's insane. It's madness. And it's made clear by the fact that this duo, our boys Josh and Tyler, who have this really dope style of blending hip hop and light rock, especially Stressed Out, which became their biggest hit to date. But the Recording Industry Association of America said Thursday that all 14 songs on Blurryface have been certified gold, which means sales of 500,000 in the United States, or platinum, which is 1 million. This feat is believed to be the first time in the history of ever that an entire album, all 14 tracks, are certified gold or platinum. At least in the digital music era, where you can just buy singles, or you don't have to buy the whole album anymore.
Right. Well, I need to stop you right there, okay? Josh Dunn only has 3.4 million followers. Debbie Ryan has 7.7. So technically, Debbie Ryan is more popular.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you can count 12 and 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Good call, Sam.
Yeah.
Good call.
12 and 13-year-old.
They're people too.
Girls.
You know?
They are people.
They're people. I'm just saying it was really crazy.
But they're not allowed out late, so she wouldn't have to hide as much during the evening if they went to a show.
Blurryface as an album has been certified triple platinum, meaning it sold 3 million copies.
Wow.
Which in this day and age is a feat.
Yeah.
So is it really, it's only the two of them?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just two guys.
Yeah. Did you
Rush,
not know that?
Rush had 3 guys.
Well, I was just thinking maybe they added
Even
some more,
live.
like
nope.
during
Although,
performances?
okay, so Colin, our boy Colin, who plays drums for he was in House of Heroes. He does Vespertine. He played bass. He was helping when they do shows. They'll sometimes add live players, but it's always only ever been Josh and Tyler.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So, and they've accomplished something that
it's amazing.
Is pretty phenomenal. So shout out to those guys because they deserve it, man.
They should be able to move up to 22 pilots now, right? 23, 24.
So, gosh.
Where does that name come from?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man. I know this story and I can't remember now.
Why don't you get Josh on the phone so we can congratulate him? I'm going to dial him up.
Nope. Yeah. Not going to do that.
Well, it'd be hard to understand with a hoodie on.
Yeah.
I'm sure that...
It's right here. Joseph came up with the band's name while studying All My Sons by Arthur Miller.
That was it.
A play about a man whose choice to send out faulty airplane parts for the good of his business and family caused the death of 21 pilots during World War II.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, that was Tyler Joseph. So, Tyler, the lead singer, he's the one that came up with that name.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
Good, man. Oh, how did they come up with the name for Panic at the Disco?
Okay.
Who's Josh Dunn's girlfriend?
Have you ever?
Let me click on it.
Have you ever been to a disco?
Gosh.
Oh, no, I'm frozen, guys. I'm frozen.
Moving on.
Oh, no.
Jared has a real life
Bam.
question for us on YouTube Live, youtube.com/star88fm. He said, good morning, guys. Looking forward to watching the Black Panther tonight. And my 4-year-old son wants to go. It's PG-13. Is it safe for a 4-year-old? Don't ask me because I took Brody.
Here's the thing.
But as we learned this morning, I shouldn't be taking Brody to anything.
I feel like if you've allowed your kid to watch the other, like Avengers or Captain America, all those other Ant-Man, then I think Black Panther's absolutely fine.
But I also think you might get bored in parts because it's dialogue heavy. There's less action than other Marvel movies. It's definitely more, not politically charged, but it's a much deeper story.
Yeah. I can't wait. I still haven't seen it.
Which is crazy to me.
Because we had
I know.
our life got crazy. I texted you.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
So-
I think we're going to go tonight. I said that last week, but I think we're going to go see it tonight.
Which, by the way, for everybody that was worried because my 5-year-old called in earlier and was crazy, it turns out, for those that don't have children, or remember what it was like being a child. We have Nerf gun wars all the time in our house. We have so many Nerf guns. It's ridiculous. And so he said something earlier, but he was talking about his Nerf gun because we hide out in the house, kind of play hide and seek and tag. And of course, a headshot's worth more points. I mean, come on. It's Nerf gun wars.
It's Nerf gun wars.
But person, not people.
Well, I do hope you're wearing safety goggles.
We actually do.
Because those could put an eye out.
That's actually, we really do have like orange lensed safety goggles.
Good deal.
So, yeah.
Oh, thank you for holding.
Yeah. So CSB 1237 says no, absolutely not. PG-13 means PG-13, and the rating systems are even liberal in this day and age. Okay. My question is, have you seen the film? Because we have. I took my 12-year-old. Let's see. Jack's 14. Luke's 12. Brody's 5. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah.
I think I agree with you on the assessment. If they've seen the other Marvel films and you're okay with them seeing that,
just a lot. It's violent, you know. It's just a lot of.
This one is.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of fighting going on. Would you call that violence?
There's no blood and gore. The funny thing is, earlier on the show, Ann Furry chimed in and said Black Panther was an awesome movie. Been a long time since I've seen a really good movie without nudity, graphic blood and guts, or foul language. Highly recommend it. So, yeah. So I'm like. Yeah. I don't know. You're the dad. But I took my kids because they watched the Marvel movies and it was fantastic.
Stormy member from the 575 said, I started to listen to 21 Pilots because of Steve-O.
Oh.
I loved them ever since.
Good.
Man, look at that.
Glad I could introduce you to them.
You have great influence, Steve-O.
You're like, if only I could also introduce you to my friend Jesus.
Absolutely. Boy, what a! I need to sit down. I just got juked myself.
6?
Wow. Oof. Man.
So that's cool. I love that.
That's true, though. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Of all the things I've influenced people, I hope.
Now
my hope is that following Jesus is the best way that I.
Amen, man. Amen. Because I can get passionate about Apple. I can get passionate about video games. I can get passionate about, and so I'm like, I hope I'm as passionate about the Lord.
None of that stuff matters.
Right?
We know that. We just want to reassure everybody.
Yeah.
Amen.
Somebody said, okay, they'd seen it. It's safe for the 4-year-old, but not the innocent bystanders in the theater. If your 4-year-old wants to talk through the entire movie, like the kid that was in our row in the theater when we went to watch Black Panther, then no.
Yeah.
Brody, we have rules. It's like during the trailers, talk all day. I don't care about upsetting the people around us for trailers. Come on, it's a trailer and he's 5 years old. But once the lights go down and the movie starts, it's like, we're good, we're chill. And he's adhered to that pretty well. Yeah. So, yeah. Because I agree, it can be obnoxious, but...
and it could be scary for a 5-year-old to stand out in the hallway for the rest of the movie because he couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Exactly right.
Dude, Luke, when he was little, did not finish Wall-E. Because I'm like, one more time, and you and I are going out in this hallway? And he was being a brat, and he was like kicking, and you could tell he was tired, and he just didn't want to.
Yeah.
And so I picked him up, and I said, Chrissy, Jack, have fun. And we left, and I didn't see the ending of Wall-E.
I remember those days, man. Yeah, there were many times where I missed out on things because you follow through.
He's never, ever, ever done that again.
Yep.
But
he usually only takes once.
That's the thing that stunk, is especially in our house, because Christy's like, if you threaten something, you
must
follow through.
You have to.
Your word is your word, and they have to understand that it's always going to be that way. And so there'd be times where I'd say something and be like, oh, no.
I wish I could take that back.
Oh, no, please don't fail. No, you failed.
Yeah.
Now I'm hosed.
When Stephanie was about 3, we were leaving. We were moving away from Silver City to Carlsbad, and the people that we had rented the house from, we lived in this little house behind these other people who were members of our church, and we went over to say goodbye to them. We had our last stuff in the truck, and we were heading out of town. After we said goodbye to them, we were leaving, and so Stephanie was about 3, and she was kind of running around the living room. She wasn't too rambunctious or anything, but I said, "Come on, Steph, it's time to go." And she turned to me and she goes, "No."
Ooh.
And I said, "Sweetheart, get over here now." "No, if you don't come right now, you're going to get a spanking." And she turned and looked right at me and said, "No."
Oh, defiance.
And so the lady, the wife of the couple whose house we were visiting, she looks at me and she goes, "What are you going to do now, Dad?"
Oh, man.
Which I was prepared because Brenda and I made up our minds. If you're going to threaten something, I mean, Stephanie was our first one, so we didn't. It was all new to us. But I went over and grabbed her and gave her a couple of swats on the fanny and said, when Daddy calls you, you come right now.
Did she cry?
And no, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had a diaper on, so it was hard to.
Yeah.
I say 3. She might have been 2.5. I don't know, but so I followed through, and we tried to do that with all the kids.
You have
but
to,
by
man.
the time Riley came along, we were like, sure, kid, whatever, do whatever you want.
I'm
Just
okay.
kidding. We didn't
I'm
do
okay
that.
I'm okay with the 1, 2, 3 method. But at the third one, you better follow through. I don't know how many parents that have been around that are like 1, 2, 3. One.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
There have been a couple of times with our kids that there was one thing like, I'm going to tell you one more time, and then you're going to get a swat. And then they didn't do it, and they got a swat.
Yep.
And then this happened with Emily one time with shoes. It always happens around 3. I don't know what happens. But after about the second time of her she didn't say anything. She just didn't do what she was supposed to, pick up her shoes and take them to her room. So I swatted her fanny, and then it no longer was about the shoes, and it was about this is gonna. It broke my heart to have to do that every single time, because she's just standing there just defiant and crying, but finally because then I thought, oh well, I'm gonna I'll grab her hand and I'll help her pick up the shoes, and I was like, no, I can't do that. I told her to pick them up and take them to her room.
Oh my gosh!
And finally, she picked them up and walked to her room after it felt like an hour, but it was probably only about 5 or 6 minutes of a standoff. But I was like, at this moment, it is no longer about the shoes, and this is not about winning and losing, but you're going to lose.
Yeah,
because there is something happening
Lines
right
are
here
drawn in the sand
that will be set up for the rest of your life. And since that point, Emily never ever got in trouble.
Yeah,
she was a perfect child.
Chrissy wouldn't let me count. We didn't do counting. Chrissy wouldn't allow.
Yeah, it works with some kids. And
I tried to count, but I went 1, 2.
Because
help me out, Brendan. Take over.
Ever the what is it? The authoritarian. What is she? The authority.
Yeah. I just can't count. That was my problem.
By starting to count, you relinquish control and allow them to do it in their time.
Yeah. So I was like,
and so
1,
I was like,
B. Then Brendan said, okay, no more counting. You can't do it.
So it's one of those, if I have to say it one more time, you will get a spanking.
And then,
but technically that's like 2.
1,
but that's like 2.
Yeah.
But we don't say that. Parenting, it's a joy.
No, it's not.
Thinking about having kids? Don't.
No, stop it.
Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Or if you do, discipline them.
Yeah.
Parenting 101, or as Sam calls it, parenting 12B.
All right, when we come back from the Dreamstar Remodeling Star 88 Studios, a 50-year-old's top for 20-year-olds. How old are you, Sam? Like 39? 42?
I'm going to be completely transparent. I am 53.
53.
No, that's not right.
Oh.
I'm 54.
Oh, see, you lose count when you get up in the 50s,
Yeah, see, that's
right?
why. 1B.
We'll see what you think about this list that this 50-year-old gave for advice to these 20-year-olds. 20-year-old punk kids. We'll see. We'll see about that when we come back. Also, didn't you have something you wanted to talk about? Or more headlines or something? Just the 21 Pilots thing? Is that all you had?
I got a lot to talk about.
Okay. You want to tease something?
I got a lot to talk about.
Oh, we got
Oscar
Oscars.
goodie bags.
We got Oscars,
We're going to talk
guys.
Oscars. We're going to talk Star Wars 9. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff.
All right. YouTube, go there. Watch the show. Subscribe to our channel. Also, Facebook Live, Star 88 FM. We'll be right back.
February 21st of 2018 must have been a date circled in red on heaven's calendar, because that was the day Billy Graham was ushered into his reward for being a faithful servant of Jesus Christ.
I don't claim to be going to heaven today because I have preached or because I'm a good man. I claim to be going to heaven only on the merit and the ground of Jesus.
Just As He Is, a tribute to Billy Graham, is hosted by Skip Heitzig and features interviews with the Graham family, Dr. James Dobson, Toby Mack, Kurt Warner, and many more who have been impacted by the amazing life of Billy Graham.
And every time you see a cross, it should remind you of what you mean to God. Jesus not only died for all, He died for each.
Listen to Just As He Is, a tribute to Billy Graham on this station.
Sunday, March 4th at 10 a.m. and March 11th at 8 a.m. on Star 88.
Tony Evans. This is a Star 88 Supernova.
We live in the era of the selfie. Everywhere you go, people are taking pictures of themselves. A selfie means you want to be in it. No matter whatever else and whoever else is around, you too want to be on display. One of the things God said to his people is, don't take any pictures of me. Don't even try it. You shall make no image of the living God. God only took one selfie in history. His name is Jesus Christ. That's God's selfie. He said, don't make any image of me, because anything you make that you think looks like me will only distort me.
That was Pastor Tony Evans on a Star 88 Supernova. This is KLYT Albuquerque, Santa Fe, rebroadcast on KKCJ Cannon Air Force Base, KPKJ Mintmore, K201CC Las Cruces, K203EZ Alamogordo, K207CQ Gallup, K211CW Hobbs, K212EH Silver City, K214DE Antonito, K218AK Artesia, K250AB Roswell, K293AO Alamosa, K228DQ Portales, in the free app for iOS and Android, and online at star88.fm.
Stay
Are you a 30 to 40-something-year-old male who doesn't know how to respond appropriately to difficult emotional situations at these trying times? Listen to The Morning Invasion. Unsure of how to respond to the latest episode of This Is Us? Listen to The Morning Invasion. Not quite sure what to think about the latest iteration of cable and the Marvel movies? Listen to The Morning Invasion. Do you want to know how much the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory costs to run? Listen to The Morning Invasion. If you don't know how to pose seductively on a couch as the camera pans away from you in a vertical manner, well, then you need to go to the Facebook page of one of the DJs of The Morning Invasion. Because Steve-O is that 30 to 40-something-year-old male who will let the rest of us know how to respond to difficult emotional situations in these trying times. Granted, he's probably crying, but that just means you need to be crying too. The Morning Invasion. Use it.
Good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Friday. Actually, Party Horn Friday. Sam Swan hanging out with us.
Yes.
The Swan is here. Man, I feel like we need some good, solid advice from somebody that I trust and love.
Well, you know, the problem is the breed that I am and that Steve-O's mom is leaving. Because now all we have is a bunch of snowflakes out there that whine and cry about being mothers, and it's hard, and I can't do it, and I need alone time, and blah, 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 blah,
Preach
blah.
it, Mom.
You know, wah, 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 wah.
Preach it.
You know, pull up your big girl panties and do your job, you know.
Yeah!
When was this?
That was Dex's mom a couple weeks ago.
Oh, my.
Just talking about parenting, and we're like, but it's hard. And she kind of...
Oh,
Yeah.
what are you crying about?
Love you, Mom.
Dude, I missed that. I wish I would have heard that.
Oh,
so
dude,
good.
you definitely should go back.
Okay, girl, pull up your big girl panties. Here we go. I got it. You know, it's just, it's
man.
life. It is what it is.
It
And
is. Yeah. That was my mom. That's how I was raised, guys. That was
Boy, I
the advice I always got.
have such a greater understanding now.
Yeah, my mom said, pull up your big boy panties. And I did that. That's what I did, guys.
Technically, boys wear
And he
underwear.
still calls
What?
them panties to
boys
this day.
boys
What are you
wear
talking about?
underwear.
Oh,
Not in his house.
That's what my daughter told me one
A
time.
little different.
Oh.
A little different.
wait a second. Panties are girl?
Yeah, I told her, I said,
Stop it.
pick up your underwear off the floor. She goes, Dad, girls wear panties, boys wear
What?
underwear. Yeah.
Mom!
That's what
My mom
daughter-
didn't teach me how to put on a shirt right.
She didn't.
God.
What are you whining about?
Good call. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Is this my mom?
No.
Good morning. No, it's not your mom.
Okay.
Fortunately.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, I was wondering, I've been hearing all these promos if I could give you guys one.
Of course you can.
Are you guys ready?
We're always ready.
All right, here we go. Oh, I have a question, though. Are you guys still the Dreams Tower Modeling Studios?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ready? All right. Coming to you worldwide, streaming and broadcasting live, Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 from the Dreams Tower Modeling Studios with those guys you know and love, the leaders of the Starmy, with the originator Steve-O G, the invader Dexter Tough. They're on the top 5 radio stations, but on number 1 right here in Albuquerque, Nuevo Mexico. It's time to get out of bed with the fresh alternative. It's the Morning Invasion!
That was awesome!
That is incredible.
Good job, man.
That was amazing.
Man.
That was really good.
That was really amazing.
That almost made me want to listen.
You were fired up, man.
Yeah, I know, right? You got it all. Like New Mexico's fresh alternative. Like all of the slogans were in
Even
there.
threw some Spanish in there.
I loved
Yeah,
it.
Dream Style Remodeling
I
started
really
at
liked
Studios.
it. I really, really liked it.
I've been
Hey,
working on it for 2 days, so I've been wanting to give it to you guys.
Good, man.
dude. Hey, can you text our live line 585 live with your information? I want to give you a T-shirt, man, because that was
Beautiful.
dope. You did a good job.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
No,
All right,
thank
man.
you, sir. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Love it.
Anytime you guys want to call in with promos, feel free. Of course, the live line, instead of texting, you can always call the live line as well and leave a voicemail.
It's good stuff.
It is. It is.
That was impressive.
Most impressive.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see here. Sam is joining us. He's 54. You're almost 55.
I can't drive. We got it. Can we?
I
Can we
can't
just
believe you. I
When
can't
he-
believe I
I
heard that.
can't drive.
Yes, when he turns 55, that's what we need to do.
Okay.
All
I
right?
can't believe I've
Some
made
Sammy,
it that long.
Some Sammy Hagar.
I didn't know I would live past 30.
Is Sammy Hagar Baptist approved?
As long as he's standing still while he's singing.
Okay.
But some of those antics that he does on stage, we just can't have it.
You just can't have it.
Can't have it.
I saw Van Hagar when I was a kid.
Van Hagar.
It was Van Halen, but not David Lee Roth, man.
That's right.
But they did Jump, they did Panama. That's not the same. I mean, you know.
All right. Well,
that's it. Eddie was a great guitarist.
But Right Now is a great song.
Probably still is a great guitarist.
It's the only reason Pepsi's still around.
50-year-old lawyer in Minnesota posted a list of advice she wishes someone her age gave her when she was 20.
Oh, this is from a lady?
I didn't realize it was from a lady.
Well,
okay.
Can we move on to something else?
Oh, my gosh!
Just kidding.
There's nothing too groundbreaking in it, but it's making the rounds online. Glad we have a 54-year-old in here so we can see how this list holds up.
How many times can you say over the air how old I am?
I know.
54. If you're asking. Almost 55.
You say it's not groundbreaking, so why are we doing this? Nothing groundbreaking,
well, I
really?
just read it, so, I mean, I don't pre-read.
Besides, this is concrete. It's hard to break.
Let's see what she had to say.
Gosh.
I feel like
it.
you don't
I can
want
dig it.
me to read it because she's a woman.
Oh, my gosh! You guys said that. I'm excited to read it.
You found out that it was a lady.
I'll accept all of the insights from the elderly. Wow. Is that right?
Excuse me, it's not elderly. My heavens. Hang on, Sonny. Let me just sit down here before you... Say that again.
When I was a kid...
Say that to my face, whippersnapper.
I was either afraid of old people or didn't believe a thing they said because they were
not
crazy.
That scary. Look at me.
And now I'm like, you know what? I don't want to screw my life up like you did, so you give me all of the advice. Let's be real, Sam.
That's what he says to me every Friday.
And glean every little pearl of wisdom I can from you.
Every Friday. Steve-O, it's called Time with Sam and Steve-O.
Yes. Yep.
And I just give him wisdom.
Yeah.
All right, again, this is a 50-year-old lawyer, female, who is giving advice. She hopes and wishes that someone would have given her this advice when she was 20. So this is to all the 20-year-olds out there. So you need to listen up. Here we go. Be kind, or at least courteous to other people. It doesn't really require much effort, and it makes you happier in the end. So compliment people whenever you can and try to be as understanding and patient as possible.
That's good.
That's a good word.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And a good cookie.
All right. Don't try to fit in too much or dwell on other people's opinions. Just think of them as suggestions and stay true to yourself. Also, never make a major life decision just to please someone else, like your parents. I love that.
That's a good one.
How many times in our lives do we listen to our parents? How do I say this?
I don't know.
Because we should listen to our parents.
I'm 50-50 on this one. I don't fully agree with it.
I don't know if I agree with it either. But I mean,
I'm going to call my mom and see
if
what she
you're 20,
thinks about it.
You're an adult. You should be making your own decisions. You should be able to take the advice from your parents, but do you necessarily have to listen and do what they tell you to do?
I think what she's saying is doing what pleases your parents. Like, they want you to be a lawyer, but you want to be a professional skater, and you go to be a lawyer and you don't do what you like because of what your parents
Well, I remember my parents, they when they found out I was going to be in radio, they laughed at me first off.
Oh, yeah.
And they tried to convince me to not go down that path as a radio personality. And I decided to not listen to them.
See?
That's, I don't know. I have a hard part with I'm going to Jesus juke it. Just think of them as suggestions and stay true to yourself. You know how many times in my life I've wanted to do something, even though I know I probably shouldn't, but it's like, stay true to yourself. And I'm like, man, we can fool ourselves into some really stupid situations because we're like, you just don't understand.
See, I just ignored that part. I was only listening to the part that says don't do stuff to just please your parents.
Yes,
because
I agree with
we
that.
have adults who are living their entire life still trying to please their parents, and they're never ever going to do it because
that's true.
There's all kinds of issues there. But yeah, that whole thing about follow your heart, be true to yourself, that's bad advice.
Scripture reminds us that the heart is deceptive.
Yeah. And if you're true to yourself, that means
yeah.
you're not putting others first. That means you're living for your own, and you're not even considering God's leadership in your life. So let's, instead of taking this advice, let's critique each one.
More is like a suggestion. This is like, we're not going to take this in and dwell on her opinion. We're just going to take it as a suggestion.
Exactly.
And be true to your school, just like you would to your girl or guy.
I love it.
Be true to your school. Okay.
All right, next piece of advice.
That was a show choir piece we did a long time ago.
Again, this is a 50-year-old lawyer,
time ago.
female lawyer in Minnesota, and she is giving advice to 20-year-olds.
Somebody said Dex over here acting all independent, but his mom still
but
pays
actually,
his
you know,
Netflix.
Shut your mouth.
Adolescence is extending into about 26 or 27 now. So
or 38.
Even though they're adults, they still have an adolescent mindset. So they do need some wisdom. Anyway, number 3.
Number 3, here we go. Never stay in a bad relationship. Even if it's hard to leave, it's worth it in the end. Sam?
Anybody want to get
Sam,
all?
go ahead.
Never stay in a bad.
54-year-old Sam, go ahead.
Anybody want to get Jesus jukey on that one?
Go ahead, Sam.
What do they mean bad relationship?
Bad
like,
relationship.
are they married?
Right.
Or are they
I
just
mean,
dating? Like, because clearly the word of God.
Okay, Sam, let's say you're just dating somebody and you're in a bad relationship.
Okay, first of all, I wouldn't be dating because I'm married.
Yeah, he's been married for a really, really long time.
Hypothetically, a 20-year-old dating.
Yes, a bad relationship and they're not married yet.
Right.
I like this one.
Yep.
It's better to end it now than before it's too late.
Should you put work into somebody that you're dating? Should it be hard? If it's hard, is that something you want to continue to go down?
No relationship is easy.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to be a real friend, or if you're going to if the person that you're in a relationship with, you feel like this could go further, then yes, it's going to take work. But after a while, if you can't see the writing on the wall and it nothing ever changes or doesn't get any better, then yeah, that's probably not a good thing to stay in.
Okay. All right. And if you're married,
stay.
You're stuck.
Yeah. But you can work on it. You can go get help. You can get help.
In those situations.
Steve. Okay. Wait, Steve, there's somebody outside the studio who
every statement. Actually.
Somebody wants to talk to you outside the Steve-O. Outside the Steve-O studio.
All right, number 4.
What do you want from me? I'm 54 years old.
Don't focus too much on money. And remember...
Wait, that's just wrong. Okay. Money is the end-all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And remember that all your stuff is replaceable. In the end, it's not as important as the people in your life or the relationships you have.
That's pretty good.
Pretty solid.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Somebody said, how is this advice? Quote, here's my bland generic knowledge that everybody already knows. Here you go.
Right?
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, but how come so many 20-year-olds don't know this?
Oh.
Speaking of, a 20-year-old chimed in and said, guys, I'm buying my first car today. I already got the financing lined up. I have a payment I can afford. I'm making a 3-hour drive to Albuquerque to get it. It's an Infiniti G37X. Do you have any advice for a first-time car buyer that's only 20 years old?
Don't buy it.
Buy an F-150.
Yeah, no, don't.
Don't buy it.
What's
Raptor.
your
Can afford
I want to
Raptor.
know what your like APR on that bad boy is.
And I kind of want to know what your car payment is, even though you think you can afford it. I remember saying the same thing. Oh, I can afford it. I couldn't afford it.
Well, because here's the thing. Sometimes you're like, man, I can't afford that car payment, but I really want that car. And they go, okay, well, let's do a 7-year loan.
Yeah.
We'll knock it down $20.
So it'll only be $180 now instead of the $220 you were supposed to pay.
Dude.
And you're like, that's a deal. Wait, 7 years? If your car payment is more than 3, bro, you need to rethink
when I was
buying that
20
car.
years old, my car payment was $375 a month. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got to try and get it down. Like, you don't want a 5 or 7 year car payment because in 5 or 7 years, that car's going to be worthless and you're still paying on it. So
unless you plan to drive it until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Then
and if you're
then a
gonna
little
do that,
longer is
you
okay.
need to make sure you're getting a car that is dependable.
Exactly.
That will drive until, like, that's why I drove Subarus. Seriously, my Outbacks, because it was like I can put 200,000-300,000 miles on this car, and they were dependable, and it worked for me. That's why a lot of people I think buy Hondas or
I did the same with my Ford Ranger, 193,000.
Right,
I get
exactly.
I get the whole dependable thing, and a lot of people, they want to buy a dependable car. But I think when you're 20 years old and you don't have a family, it's
He's
just
asking
you.
for advice. Don't tell him to get the freaking Miata.
I'm giving him advice, all right? Because I fell into this trap. When you're 20 years old and you're single and you don't have kids, you should be driving a hunk of junk.
Yeah.
You
Don't get a
know,
new
you
car.
don't want to have a car
Yeah.
payment. Don't have a car payment when you're 20 years old. That's the worst thing you could do.
Just
I'm
keep-
38 and I don't have a car payment, and it's glorious.
Put all
Yeah,
that money
dude.
away and
Yeah.
then just walk up to the dealer and say, I will give you, I've got this cash in my hand, I'll give you it for that car right there. And if he says no, then walk across the street to the other guy.
There you go.
And if he says no, then punch him.
Don't buy it. That's
No.
my advice.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 3% APR, $230 a month. It's a 6-year loan.
I don't know, man. How many miles on it? Did you
6-year
say?
loan?
How many miles on this car?
That's too many years, bro. I'm
Text
gonna
in how
be
many
dad
miles.
right now. A 6-year loan is too many years.
Too many years. You're gonna have it for
Because
2
in
years.
6
tops.
years, are you really going to want to still be paying $230 a month
No.
for an Infinity G37X?
That's a bad deal. Don't buy it.
I'm just kidding.
I want to know how many miles on it.
If you can, like if you're doing this so that you could get a lower percentage rate, but you can double payments, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe you
can pay it off
you can
sooner.
pay it off sooner.
Yeah.
Then I'd say,
Then
yeah,
that's okay.
sure, stretch it out so that you can pay it off sooner, but you have to be diligent and actually pay it off sooner because I'm telling you, dude, a 6-year loan.
That's a long time. It doesn't sound like long right now, but by about the 3.5-year mark, you're going to be going, man, I'm still paying on this car.
I'm still paying on this car, bro, and now it's worth a third of what I
Yeah.
paid for it.
And now I want to get married and have kids, and I can't do it.
Now I want to get out of this stupid car payment, but if I trade it in, it's going to be upside down on this car payment. I owe more than it's worth.
The worst thing about getting a car is that when you buy a car, you're so happy for the first few months. You're driving it and you're like, this new car smell. It's just, I love it. And for some reason, you just, all of a sudden, you get in your car one day and you're like, oh, I'm kind of sick of this car.
I have had Mazdarth for 14 months. Yeah, I count the months.
You sick of it already?
I am still in love with Mazdarth.
I gotta
You know
tell
why?
that's a
Because
sweet ride.
you're almost 40 years old. That makes a big difference
He's my
from 20
best friend.
to 40.
He goes everywhere with me. I love him so much. He still smells good because I take care of it. That's the other thing.
Not only-
you want to oil change that bad boy. You
He
want to.
doesn't
There's
just
so many
go with you. He takes you
He
places.
takes me.
He's a
he
servant.
takes me places,
He
guys.
takes you places.
But what I'm telling you, like
Everywhere.
It took a long time. I didn't just jump at the first car that I liked because I knew that I needed something dependable. I couldn't afford above a certain amount, and I wasn't going to extend the loan because of these reasons.
It's a sweet ride, bro.
And it turns out I'm going to drive him forever.
Speaking of that, can I borrow your keys?
No.
He doesn't let me.
Chrissy has
I know how to
literally
drive
never
it.
driven my car.
I can drive a stick.
14 months I've had this car. She's never driven this car.
Only I
But that's
have.
also why it's in great condition still.
Good call. Good call.
Oh, man. Chrissy, I hope you were taking a break from the radio during this time.
Dude, no! A 20-year-old! It's already got 72,000 miles on it.
No,
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 don't do that.
no,
Don't do
no, no. You need to stop right now.
Too many miles.
Don't buy this car. This is bad.
Terrible idea.
Dude, things start breaking down.
$230 a month for 6
No.
years, and it's already got 72,000 miles on
Don't
it?
do it.
Listen, bro, even if you're frugal in driving, you're going to put like a solid $20K on that car a
Don't do
year.
it, man.
Okay? So in 6 years, you're going to have 200,000 miles on that car. You think it's still going to be going strong in 200,000 miles?
Usually cars start breaking, depending on the type of car, they start breaking down. Things start breaking
About
at the
100?
100,000
Yeah.
miles.
Yeah.
And then that's
and you said
all.
you were driving 3 hours to Albuquerque, which means you're going to put 235 miles on the way home.
know, right?
Guys, listen to us, 20-year-old. Please listen to us. We've been there. Don't buy this car. We've done it before. And
I
it was
travel all
bad.
over the state. I can tell you. You're either coming from Las Cruces, Bloomfield.
Somebody said no 20-year-old kid is listening to your advice right now. Advice from old people goes in one ear and
true.
out the other. Well, at least we can say
It's true.
we tried, bro.
Well-
Enjoy your Infinity for 1 year because you're going to be paying for it
right.
for infinity years.
And it goes both ways because old people don't listen to young people either.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
in fact, I didn't even hear that last.
Somebody said I'm 26 years old. I own a car and a motorcycle outright. I worked my way up with junkers like these guys are saying. It is never worth a 6-year loan, bro.
Nope.
Listen to the
Don't do it.
26-year-old.
There you go.
See, and that's what Dave Ramsey would say. He would say no car payment's ever worth
Yeah.
it. So what you do is you buy the
Get a hoopty.
$1,000, $2,000 junker, and then you rock that. But while you're doing that, you're still putting away $250 a month, right? Like as if you had a car payment. So then in turn, once you have another sizable little chunk of change,
You can
go
upgrade.
and buy the $5,000 car. You trade that one in, you get something else, and you just keep
Snowball
going,
effect, guys.
Yeah. Until you have that car you want. But no 20-year-old's going to be like, yeah, but in 6 years.
You are listening
won't even know.
to auto purchasing advice
know,
from
I'm like,
Steve
Here's the
What
thing.
happened?
When you're 20 years
What
old,
happened?
even now at almost 40 years old, when you want something, you want something. And it's hard to convince you that you
Tune
can't
in
have
next
it.
week when we'll talk about buying a house at 17 and a half years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Dude, people are chiming in left and right for you, 20-year-old. And
Are they all
literally
saying no?
No one
No?
is saying no.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, why are you even talking? He's still going to buy it.
Please update us. Let us know if you're actually going to go
Sam
buy
says,
it still.
but bruh, it has tinted windows in the gold package. And then Jared said, but bruh, it's an infinity. It's a status symbol, bruh.
In this case, infinity does not actually mean forever.
Yeah, it will
Just
not.
clarification.
Yeah, he's still going to buy it. Why are we still talking? I'm sorry.
Let us know how you're
But give
feeling.
him some credit. Maybe he's listening.
Yeah, text in and let us know how you're feeling about this advice, because I want to know how you're feeling. You still going to get it? You still going to buy it? Because why would you text in for the advice if you didn't want to take our advice?
He's crying. He just sent in the he just sent in the cry emoji. We just made the 20-year-old cry.
It's
Don't
sad.
cry.
You know what?
Don't be
It's sad.
sad.
You wanted this car, but you know what? There's some really cool cars out there that you could get for like $5,000 or $2,500.
Really cool cars. He's looking at the Infinity with the gold package, bruh. Really cool
Infinity is a
cars.
cool
Now,
car,
see,
man.
I think
Infinity's
a
a
Ford
cool
Raptor is
car.
way more cool than an
Oh,
Infinity.
okay. Have you seen the price tag on the Ford Raptor?
Yes.
You're like, oh yeah, be practical
No.
and frugal. Buy the $80,000.
No, I'm not telling you to buy
truck.
that. I just think a truck is cooler than a car. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but nobody's gonna buy an $80,000-$90,000 truck. That is ridiculous.
Oh, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to go buy one today. Right now. In fact,
don't do it, Sam.
Oh, Sam
Sam
left. He went to go buy a truck.
they turned down my credit.
Okay. There you go.
Wow.
It's because he'll be dead in 3 years, and he had to get a 7-year loan.
That's a beautiful car.
Apparently, a 35 on credit rating is not good. I didn't know that. I didn't. It was that Infinity that I bought 7 years ago that I financed for 22 years.
Yeah.
I just
why.
Googled the Infinity G3 7X, and it's a beautiful car, man, but don't do it. Don't do it.
Not with that many miles.
Nope. Too many miles.
DJ Bossman Dan says I'm totally wrong about not buying that $90,000 truck. I will say that, like, in my dream
It's
mind,
so
you know,
sweet.
Marty McFly had his dream truck, that
That's-
Toyota.
yes.
Every time I see one of those Raptors, I'm like, oh, dream.
Absolutely.
Someday, man, when
Yeah.
I'm like 60
Yes.
and I actually have good credit or something.
Yeah, actually, what I
you
say
will
when
be mine.
I see a truck just like that, I go, someday I'll never own a truck like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I want one so bad.
I do too.
They're so sick looking.
It'll never happen, guys.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
You guys are lusty. Knock it off.
Okay.
That's actually coveting.
See,
but
20-year-old,
still.
we still covet those things. We just
Yeah.
made the wise choice not to buy them because we know that we can't afford
So
them.
instead, I got a minivan.
Beautiful. And it's in a beautiful minivan, too. Okay.
Oh, man.
It's got bucket seats, stowaway storage,
Dude.
and a
just saying.
built-in vacuum for those
saying.
messes that your children make.
We're talking about this 50-year-old female lawyer in Minnesota.
Oh, is that what we were talking
about? Yeah. She posted a list of advice for 20-year-olds. She wishes that someone her age would have given her advice back when she was 20. So we just finished up with, what was it? Don't focus too much on money. Remember that all your stuff is replaceable. In the end, it's not important as the people in your life or the relationships you have. Number 5, don't make snap judgments about people. You never know the true context of what's going on in their life, so try to give people a break now and then.
I don't think she knows what she's talking about. I don't like her at all. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I made a snap judgment. I take it back.
I love it. Good.
Oh!
We got 2 more here. Don't beat yourself up too much. Do what you can to fix your mistakes, then move on. Holding on to guilt for too long is toxic to your own happiness.
And as we all know, it's all about our happiness. Am I right? No, that's not biblical either? Okay. Sorry. Glad we took this advice.
Although I would tweak what she says slightly.
Yeah.
To say that guilt is toxic to your happiness. Guilt, unnecessary guilt, is toxic to your quality of life.
Mhm.
I would say it that way.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Because it will eat you from the inside out if you just keep beating yourself up over stupid things.
Our last one here.
Let it go.
Let it go. Don't worry about getting older.
I needed to hear that.
Life can be better at 50 than it is at 20.
You know what, dude? Truer words never spoken. Of every single one of those, that's the one.
That's the
I always
best
thought
one.
my life was going to be over when I turned 30, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm just getting going.
Yeah.
And then now it's like I'm getting close to 40, and now I'm like
Getting warmed up.
Dude, I'm like in my quote prime. Like
Yeah.
I still feel great. My body feels better than
Top
it's ever been.
physical
Like,
condition?
Yeah, dude. So I agree with that one. It's like
Good word.
you in your 20s, you're like, I've got to do all of this right now because life is here in the present moment. And then as you get older, you kind of realize, like, it for those of us that are still breathing oxygen, it's like, oh man, like I'm not slowing down like I thought I was going to. I'm not dying. Like, like I'm still okay. I don't have to be extreme and like have everything right now in this moment, because whereas we know we're not promised tomorrow, I don't think that means like, so fret on everything and buy everything right now so that you have everything that your heart desire in this very, very moment. Because we're also called to be good stewards. And so for me, I know that, man, in those times in my life, whether it's like Mazdarth or those things, when I had to save and I couldn't get it right away, 6 months, a year goes by, or however long it took to acquire what it was that I really wanted, man, I appreciate it so much more because of the hard work and the commitment and the effort that went into whatever it is, you know? And because of that, it's like, okay, I want to take my time. I want to enjoy today, whatever God puts in front of me today, and not stress about 10, 15 years down the road, but at the same time, work towards a future for myself, for my kids, for, you know, whatever it may be. And yeah.
So, Sam, you're 54, almost 55. If a 20-year-old was standing in front of you right now and he said, just, I need one piece of advice, what would you say? What would that nugget be?
Oh, well, don't buy the Infinity with
Too late.
72,000.
Too late.
I love
He
it.
said, you know what, guys? I listened to your advice, but I'm still going to get it.
You know what? See?
I will see you guys while I'm driving past the studio in my new car. And if I get hung up on the payment, I'll just trade it in.
Okay, I'll answer your question,
just trade
Dex.
it in, yeah.
I'm going to
Okay,
be serious now. I'm straight up serious.
All right.
Pursue God and live for His glory and His honor, and be a faithful witness.
Yeah, man.
Everything else will take care of itself.
I love that. And Nate
Everything
said
else-
that
and
a while back. See God with all your
I don't mean
heart.
to Jesus juke it, but I'm.
No, you're right.
I tell people all the time. Listen, a lot of the stuff that we go through is our own fault.
Yep.
Which is like, duh.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is, and if we would pursue Christ, that takes care of everything else. If He's the hub of what we're pursuing, He
Everything
helps us
falls
work
into
everything
place.
out, even if it's tough. He's walking with us through whatever it is that we're
Exactly.
facing.
I
So,
love that.
Any advice that I ever give anybody's not really advice.
Right.
It's just counsel.
Well, a lot of people
on-
want to know, should I take the job? Should I get married? What should I do? And I think, seek God with everything. With your heart,
and He'll
mind,
help you to
your soul.
understand it.
Yep.
Which He doesn't make it necessarily easy, but but you don't have to face it alone.
That's the thing. We don't want it to be easy. That's another thing that I've learned recently, just in the past couple of years, is you want things to be hard because that's where we grow.
Yeah.
We compare it to, like we say this all the time, our muscles when we work out.
Yeah.
We go to the gym, we're breaking down the muscle.
Right.
So it'll grow back stronger. And that's exactly what it's like when we go through hard times.
Yes.
You don't want an easy ride.
James says, consider it great joy when you face trials of many kinds or various kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance or perseverance. And God uses those things in our lives to prepare us for a lifelong journey of following Him, which is what it is. It's a lifelong journey of following Him. And as we go through these trials, some of them are little tiny trials and some of them are huge trials. But as we go through those, God is using those to mold us and shape us into what He wants us to be, to help us to develop the characteristic of endurance so that we can continue to be faithful in being a witness for Him.
Yeah. As cheesy as this, I always kind of think about this, and Steve was going to appreciate this because it's total nerd, but when Bruce Wayne, I'm talking like Christian Bale, decides to ditch his fortune and go and become, a Batman, basically, he had to learn how to survive and his skills. And
Why would I love this? Because I'm a nerd?
it's a nerd, man.
Okay.
That's kind of a good
But why choose
picture.
Batman?
Well, you could probably choose a whole lot of different things, but I think about that too. It's like this guy had everything.
Yeah.
He lived the cush life, comfortable life, but no, he wanted more. He wanted to do something.
There's
so
a
he
dude
went
I
out
know that
and
was
became
like
Batman.
the king of all, and he surveyed everything, and he chose to humble himself to
Who's
become
this?
the servant of all. His name's Jesus.
Oh, tell me about this guy.
Well, he's been here since the foundation of the world. In fact, he created all of this.
It wasn't everything created
but
for him
did
and
not-
by him?
And by him.
Yeah.
And
No way.
Yes, right? And everything you
He was
see,
better
like,
than Batman?
Yeah, better, a little better. Better costume.
He's the Christ man.
Wow,
Okay.
you just one-upped me.
It's called a Jesus juke. So, no, but seriously, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think about that. He thought that this was far greater, like to reconcile his people to him. Like that God just.
He willingly gave up his rights as God for a time to provide a way for us to be made right, to restore it to him to the original way that God intended it for us to be with him in the beginning.
It's mind blowing when you actually
It
put
really
thought
is.
to it.
Right.
And
It really
it's
is.
overwhelming and it's stupid because you're like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because in man's mind and man's economy, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
You're throwing everything away for these idiots who don't deserve or even want you.
Which-
because while we were yet sinners, Christ died for our sins. We weren't apologetic. We weren't falling on our faces asking for forgiveness. We were spitting in his face and turning away from him. And he chose us.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I feel like if we can get to that point more often, where we develop this overwhelming sense of gratitude for what God has actually done for us and what it cost Jesus to provide life, a way for us to have a relationship with the Father.
I think
we just can't help but witness.
And I think there you go. There's some more advice. Like, don't ever forget. Like when I get to a place where I'm numb to grace, then I'm dead.
Yeah.
Then I should just stop breathing.
Yeah.
We should never become numb to that. And I have my days, dude. We're all stupid humans. I love, it's like that good relationship. Like, you never get over the butterflies. You never get over don't ever get over the overwhelming sensation you felt when you realized that the creator of the universe chose you because he loves you and he has called you and he has a plan and he's not done with you no matter where you're at. It's like, dope. I don't care where you're at. I don't care what you've done, bro. Like, your stupid brain is not bigger than the forgiveness and the grace of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Good word,
Good
bro.
word. Good word. Good word. Preach it. Preach it. So there, take that 50-year-old lawyer, Minnesota.
Steve-O, you could be a Baptist.
yeah, I mean, I was raised that way. So, oh man,
Come back.
There we go. There we go.
You guys can come back.
We'll take you back, Steve-O.
Do you guys have a radio station I could work at? Okay, no. All right. Somebody said I'm 25. That last piece of advice is what I try to remind myself daily. 20s feels like hustling, failing, and then relearning everything.
Yeah, man. That's
Dude,
what life's all about,
and that's
man.
part of
so
life.
fast.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so fast. Guess what? In 30s, similar. Maybe you make less mistakes, but you still make
Keep
those stupid
falling,
mistakes.
man.
But it's a matter of falling forward, as Pastor Craig Rochelle once said. He wrote this amazing book, and it was all on Samson, and it was all about Judges 14. And one of his big ideas was failing forward, because we're gonna fail. It's a matter of when we stand up, like, which way are we leaning? Are we just gonna give up? Are we gonna fall back? Are we just gonna go back to what we know? Or are we gonna fail forward and lean on Jesus and move toward the cross? Because sadly, God's not like, oh, dang, bro. Didn't see that one coming. Like, he knows you're going to screw up. And that's exactly the purpose of Jesus coming here, because there's nothing we can do on our own. We're all stupid. So he sent his son because it was like, these guys are never going to figure this out. So he's not surprised by it. Of course, sin saddens his heart. It's not fun. But you can't destroy yourself over it so much that you forget who you belong to. So,
yeah, man.
Anyway.
Good word. What's the name of that book?
Oh, gosh. Now I want to go back and remember.
Because I have a couple of his books, but I can't remember that
I
one.
have this
don't
book.
remember
I've
reading that
totally
one.
read it, and it's fantastic. What is it called? Fight. It's called
Fight.
Okay.
I believe it's called Fight. Now I'm going to have to go look and make sure it's called Fight.
You guys can chime in. You can text into the show, 505-585-LIVE. Also, phone lines are open at 505-338-3700. And go subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook. Just search Star 88 FM, and we're live on both channels right now.
So good.
Share it with all your friends.
Yeah. I think it's called Fight.
Steve-O?
Yeah, it's called Fight. My bad. It's called Fight. Yeah.
What?
Headlines?
Oh yeah, sure.
Or I mean, if there's anything else we want to discuss about
No,
it.
I just that book was called Fight: Winning the Battles That Matter Most.
Yeah.
So it's
I'll check that one out.
Yeah. It's so good, you guys. Fight. You know, as we talk about wisdom and learning and growing and our words, the Twitter CEO came out recently and said something that I thought was very, very interesting. It kind of goes along with all of this. One thing he didn't fully grasp or anticipate when creating his giant moneymaker, his way to connect the world, was the abuse and the harassment and the trolls and the negative aspects of his creation. Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Well, I mean, why? Yeah. That obviously.
Yeah, you don't know.
We would
what's
never
gonna
think.
happen.
We would
No,
never
because
think that about.
He created it with this intent to like connect to the world,
Right.
and in turn, CEO Jack Dorsey in a series of tweets Thursday morning said, "We didn't fully predict or understand the real world negative consequences." I feel like this is an illustration. Do you want me to email this to you for a message?
Please do. I'm going to use it.
I mean, let's be honest. This is
Yep.
totally a real life illustration. We have witnessed abuse, harassment, troll armies, manipulation through bots, human coordination, misinformation campaigns, and increasing divisive echo chambers, he said. We aren't proud of how people have taken advantage of our service or our inability to address it fast enough.
Why are you getting into Twitter now? Unless you're an athlete or a celebrity, no one cares.
He said that the company tried to combat the downsides of its service with a reactive approach, which fell short of the audience expectations. He said, we've been accused of apathy, censorship, political bias, optimizing for our business, and share price instead of the concerns of society. This is not who we are or who we ever want to be. And going forward, he committed to increasingly focus on using Twitter to facilitate healthy conversations instead of just combating unhealthy conversations. So they're actually right now partnering with outside experts to figure out how to measure the health of public conversation. We're in a really interesting time, man. Like seriously,
we're trying to figure it all out.
Do you know what these platforms, Instagram? Well, Instagram's a little bit different because it's coupled with a photograph, and that deals with people trying to build themselves up by posting good pictures and everything.
Yeah.
But things like where you can dialogue, like Twitter and Facebook, what's happening is we have an opportunity to show our true colors.
Yep.
We would never, stuff that we would never say to somebody's face unless we had a relationship with them and we had a problem with them and we could sit down face to face and discuss it. But the meanness of it is just showing the condition of our collective hearts.
Dude, that's a real good word right there, man. That's so true.
That we, in some ways, I mean, I know why they would be
it.
surprised that why would people say this about each other? But what it is that we are this way about each other. This is the kind of stuff that we would say in private.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. Riley had an orthodontist appointment, and it was a longer orthodontist appointment. So rather than just waiting in the waiting room, it was close to this little shop. So I went over and got a baked pastry that's like eating a baby angel. And I was eating that pastry and sipping on a cup of coffee. And there were two gentlemen across the way, and their conversation was stuff that I've been reading on Twitter constantly about just on a one side, one view, one particular political view of certain things. And I just kind of listened to it, and I was like, Twitter has taken those kind of conversations in a coffee shop between two old men who are just having a good time, fixing their version of the world or complaining about it, and it's made it so public. But we all still have that meanness with us and within us. And what this has done is it has put the meanness out in a public forum. So that, and we, lots and lots of people have what they call their faux accounts or their I can't think, pseudo accounts and all those kind of things where they can just speak almost anonymously. Nobody really knows who's saying what. And we feel like because we're Americans and we have the right of free speech, we can say anything we want to and about anybody we want to, whether it's factual or not. And in fact, if we repeat that stuff enough, it becomes believable. So I could tweet something that is completely fake. Steve-O is 6'7", and if I just kept making comments about him being 6'7", eventually people who don't know him are going to say, "Well, you know that Steve-O Jeter dude? He's 6'7". Yeah, because it just puts out, and we whether we don't check facts, and we just whatever we read over and over and over and over and over, we start believing it.
We saw that recently with the school shooting in Florida, where it came out that there have been 18 school shootings this year alone, and it's only February, and the media went, "Whoa, that's crazy." Nobody fact checked it, and all of a sudden they started rolling with it to a point where the BBC even, like, everybody started using it. We quoted that over here,
and then went back and looked at the facts,
and then went back and looked at it, and it was like, wait, what
things that they were calling a shooting.
A school shooting,
like somebody after hours, a perpetrator running across the school grounds, and a cop shoots him. They called that a school shooting.
They called that a school shooting. They called, it was like, oh my gosh. And so I think there'd only been 5, but everybody was saying 18, and so you kind of go with it because it sounds right. Yeah, I can imagine 18 because of our horrific society. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and just big shout out to our Facebook Live and YouTube, because over the past, I don't know, long we've had Facebook Live, at least we've had that a long time. Like, Starmy's I've never seen them get into fights, you know? I mean, you guys are really rock solid.
I steer away from most social media. Like, I love me some Instagram, but as far as Twitter or
I
Facebook
just choose not to respond. I like to read the comments sometimes, but I don't jump in.
What's funny is that you post, let's say, Dex, you post something on Facebook, and you make a little, and let's say it's a little bit of a controversy, and you make your stand, and then somebody will comment on you, and then another person will comment on you, and then the two people who commented on you no longer are talking to you, but they start commenting to each other.
Oh, man.
And pretty soon your feed is filled with their argument about, and it may have diverted even far away from what you posted originally.
I've seen it so many times.
It's an amazing phenomenon.
I will not engage
I don't either.
on Facebook, whether it's political or spiritual matters. I have messaged friends before and said, "Hey, bro, I'd love to go to coffee and talk to you about this." But I'm not going to.
Yeah, hard to get your point across when you're typing it on a keyboard.
I don't even do that because I want to stay in my narrow viewpoint. Good
call.
I don't want to have any
Paige
dialogue.
says it's because we all love each other. That's why on our Facebook page.
Oh,
the Starmy is just full
Way
of
to go,
love.
Starmy.
That's true. Yeah. So
well, there's times people have posted some things where I look at it and go, "What? Why would?" But nobody responds to it negatively. You know, negatively. Negatively. Negativity.
Nobody responds to it negatively.
The word.
Come on,
of the
I dare
day
you. Bully me
is
on Facebook
negativity.
right now. Bully me right now. Come on.
Negatively.
Bully me. Bully me. Come on.
No one responds to it nativity.
Negatively.
No one responds to the nativity?
Yeah, no one responds to the
Okay, now
nativity.
Steve is bullying me.
I know,
You are bullying
Hold on.
Christmas.
Let me stop. Stop. Pause. This was real life bullying right now. This is Facebook, but now in real life, because you commented on something that I said.
Well, autocorrect.
I'm right.
Yeah, that's because autocorrect didn't fix your word and you look like an idiot. I'm just trying to help you.
See? Steve-O's sitting here going, I never jump in. But he does in real life.
Right now, I'm clicking on the happy face. I'm laughing at you guys.
Dude,
this
Sam
is
just
hilarious.
posted the meme with the popcorn. He's just like,
I will do that. I'll totally do that.
I do
Michael
that too.
Jackson just eating the popcorn. I love it. I love it.
Jared says, but Dex, you started it. I don't care. I don't care if I started it.
See,
Our whole
look,
point is that we don't
good
respond.
example. Good example right there. So,
did you really email me that story? Would you?
No, not yet.
Would you
I will.
please? Okay.
Yeah. Sadly, right now, CEO for Twitter, Dorsey, said that he acknowledges there may be no easy solution to turn Twitter into a healthier platform.
Yeah.
Because welcome to our culture.
It's social networking, man.
That's where we are.
Yeah, they're going to try. Mark Zuckerberg in recent months talked about putting a bigger emphasis on building community. And so they're trying to fix this, but they started publishing research on the effects of using Facebook and what it had, those effects on your mental health, your well-being.
Yeah.
I love how Facebook, they've added the snooze feature where you can snooze somebody for 30 days. If you don't like somebody, what they're posting, or they're too political or whatever, you can snooze them. You can report people. I think the biggest thing is just don't respond. If you want this to stop, then stop responding, because that's what we're talking about. Is you just continue this vicious cycle of bullying.
It could be that it's like a Pandora's box. Once it's been opened, it's hard to retract from that. to try to keep people from being mean. I don't know how that they're going to be able to do anything about that.
Yeah.
Well, somebody chimed in.
We're just going to do that.
Our Infinity Man chimed in and said, "This is the main reason I hate communicating through text. You can't hear the person's tone.
Right.
You read the text how you want to receive it.
Yeah.
You could say something in text and have it taken the opposite way as it was meant to be. I can't tell you how many times that has happened.
Yeah.
Where you just it leads to this gross misunderstanding because you read it a certain way and it's just not the way that they meant to convey it. But man, yeah. Mark says I work as a moderator on a big social site and the bullying is redonk. So yeah, I couldn't. Trolls, man. Trolls.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
Moving on. Lists of Oscar favorites and long shots are headlined by 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, which is the favorite to win Best Picture on Sunday. Who's watching the Oscars?
Nope.
Who's watching the Oscars? Anybody?
Chrissy is.
It's on Sunday. Anybody?
You'll watch them too
Am I the
because
only
Chrissy
one?
loves them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the Oscars. There's only a couple that I'll watch. I used to love the Oscars. Anyways,
I like to go back and see who won, but I quit watching.
Yeah.
It just...
my boy Wes Studi, who I got to hang out with for the Hostels premiere, is a presenter this year, which is really cool. I got excited for that. So
I remember you said that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, man. So long shots in the category is a 3-way tie between The Post, Darkest Hour, and Phantom Thread. List of the records that could be broken at this year's Oscars include... If Christopher Plummer wins Best Supporting Actor, he'll become the oldest winner of an Oscar for acting at 88 years old.
Dude.
If Timothée Chalamet wins Best Actor, he'll become the youngest Best Actor recipient in history. So there's some cool stuff. And speaking of cool stuff, you know why I attend the Oscars when I do? Because A-lister. The Oscars goodie bag that you inevitably get from your publicist. It's always amazing. I love it every year. And I'm so excited because they released what's in this year's goodie bag.
Talk to me.
Oh, man, I'm so ready. The unofficial Oscars goodie bags for all the nominees will feature the usual plane tickets, holidays, high-end cosmetics, whatnot. However, courtesy of the Me Too movement, not everything in the bag is so, quote, luxurious. This year, they're handing out pepper spray and a kit that can detect if your drink has been roofied. Yay! I'm giggling, but that's horrible.
I think this is a wonderful idea.
Guys, this is real life.
Why
They're
not?
really adding this to Oscar
Why not,
bags.
man?
It's like, welcome to Hollywood. Here's your anti-roofie kit.
Yeah, here's your fanny pack.
I'm in the wrong business.
Gee whiz.
Right.
Telling you guys, man, you always have to have pepper spray and the thing that can detect if you've been roofied.
The roofie kit. The anti-roofie drink.
I'm going to Google that. And
kit.
Oh, man.
Apparently it's real. All right, moving on, but sticking with movies. Disney has released some dates for their newest movies, and I couldn't be more excited. Guys, listen. Walt Disney Studios delighted fans all over the world when they made a slew of major announcements this week, including live-action Aladdin. Anyone? Live-action Aladdin?
You know what?
Really?
Yeah, I loved Aladdin. I thought it was great.
Here's
I'm not
why
a street
I'm
rat,
not.
and I don't have fleas.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm not excited for this movie.
Why?
Robin Williams!
Oh, that's right.
You give me one dude who's going to play the genie as well as Robin Williams.
Jim Carrey.
Good call.
Ugh, The Mask?
Good call, Quata.
Maybe not.
No, I love Jim Carrey.
No.
Don't get me wrong.
No. You're right.
I'll
think about it. Let me think about it.
We are talking
well, that's
about
just weird because Robin Williams is a category by himself.
Name a better film that Robin Williams did. Go ahead. Anybody try.
Mrs.
Then
Doubtfire.
Aladdin?
Mrs. Doubtfire was not better than Aladdin.
Oh, it was a drive-by fruiting.
Okay.
Jumanji.
Gosh, I'm going to strangle you with friendship. Hiya!
See
with
that?
love and affection. That's what I meant, guys.
The bullying has turned physical.
Don't touch me!
Kinder, better troll.
Watcha.
We don't want to
better.
say things like murder or death or strangle. With love. I want to strangle you with my arms because I just want to hug you because
That's
you're
called
so
a
close
bear
to me.
hug.
That's right. So
A
I,
better
for one, am
movie?
not stoked for the new live-action Aladdin. I really am not.
Okay.
That's an iconic role.
Did they get The Rock to play the
Just
genie?
give it a chance.
No!
Just give it a chance.
Did they say who they got? Who they cast? Anybody?
Open your mind for the possibility.
I
think they should get The Rock for
You were
the
so
genie.
dumb. You were so dumb.
I don't know about that.
Let's see. David is chiming in and saying Popeye, Hook, RV,
Good call.
Dead Poets Society.
So much.
You guys get out of here with this junk. Margot says Jack. Okay, none of those are better than Aladdin.
No.
That was like,
Those are all good.
You realize they could make Disney has said that they could make 2 more Aladdin films just based upon his outtakes from the original Aladdin.
Then why don't they?
I know.
All they got to do is put his voice in.
Because his family estate will not allow. So that will never be released on a DVD. We'll never get to hear that. They are not allowed to use them because his family estate said nope.
Well,
that was
shame
part
on
of the
them.
agreement.
And that is
That is
perfectly understandable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We will not. But I'm telling you, like, he ad-libbed a lot of that film, and he was so brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, so anyways. Ooh, what dreams may come? Get out of here, Jen. Get out of here. Not
Pass the
better
torch.
than Aladdin.
Pass the torch, man. He's gone.
What dreams may come.
Jarrett says Will Smith as the genie.
All right. I'm okay with that.
Get out of here. That's actually true. Yeah. I think that is actually who is the genie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think that was the last word.
Okay, so what are the other Disney announcements?
Yeah, that's true. Will Smith was cast as the genie.
Nice.
No.
Love that.
No.
Follow him on Instagram. He's so funny.
I do follow him on Instagram.
I have an
love
idea.
me some Will Smith.
I
He's
have an idea.
currently in Georgia right now filming his
Instead
brand new
of-
movie, Gemini Man.
I wonder if there's a loophole here with the Robin Williams family estate. If they don't use his voice, if they just take some of the quotes and write that as dialogue. For
Or
Will
they
Smith.
could use Robbie Williams.
You are so stupid.
He's a
Why would
great
they want-
singer.
Nah, man, forget Robin Givens. She's currently busy on Riverdale.
Robin
playing the mayor.
Hood.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they cast Will Smith as the genie, by the way. But I'm just saying, I don't care.
It's gonna be hard.
I love Will Smith.
It will be hard. Yes.
He's got some big genie shoes to fill.
I'm telling you.
Big genie shoes to fill.
With
Well,
curly toes.
For those of you who are excited about Will Smith and excited about the brand new film, they have announced the release date, May 24th, 2019. So a little over a year away from the live-action Aladdin remake. And also Star Wars Episode 9, December 20th, 2019. Woo! Yeah. They also pushed up the release date of Avengers to April. I'm just so happy. So we're going to get that really, really soon,
62 days, guys.
April
Oh, my
27th, 2018. So that it didn't contend with Deadpool and Han Solo in May.
Wow.
Or The Incredibles in June. I just wouldn't be happy. This is the best year for movies.
Man.
Anyways, we're done.
Did you guys see the trailer for Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet?
No.
They released the trailer for the new Wreck-It Ralph,
Okay.
and it's amazing.
I'm gonna
That's
look it
so
up.
yesterday, guys.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, you know what? Wreck-It Ralph 2, guys. It's called Ralph Breaks the Internet, and it releases November 21st. And yes, there's a trailer, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, that first one was pretty good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the show this week. It's the weekend, guys.
It's the end
here.
already?
Well, for us.
Okay.
For us.
Me
The
too.
rest of you have to keep working. Sam, we love you.
Love you too.
We love you, Starmy. Thank you for joining us on YouTube and Facebook Live. We'll upload the show here in just a little bit, so you can go back and listen to the whole thing over the weekend whenever you want. So if you need us, we're always here for you. Have a beautiful weekend. Goodbye.
That's all we got. There ain't no more. That's right. Time is tight. It's the end of the show.
February 21st of 2018 must have been a date circled in red on heaven's calendar, because that was the day Billy Graham was ushered into his reward for being a faithful servant of Jesus Christ.
I don't claim to be going to heaven today because I have preached or because I'm a good man. I claim to be going to heaven only on the merit and the ground of Jesus.
Just as He Is, a tribute to Billy Graham, is hosted by Skip Heitzig and features interviews with the Graham family, Dr. James Dobson, Toby Mack, Kurt Warner, and many more.